Man, I really wish that I had friends to, like, sit down and play a tabletop role-playing game with. You know, like normal people do. But, what's this tape? Star Road now, huh? Alright. Whoa!
Hello.
Friends?
Friends?
Hey, is this the zoo?
Hey.
What type of giraffe are you?
I was doing a thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richard.
We dragged Richard in from the other room.
Wow, wow.
Where's
Hey,
Richard?
I'm sorry, Richard.
Wait, no, put him back. Where's
I
Richard?
put it-
Why would Richard do this?
Where's
Where's
Richard?
Richard?
Where is the Richard? Yes.
Okay.
Hey!
Hey.
Hi, Richard.
Where's my YouTube chat?
Duncan doesn't believe in gravity.
Duncan? First portion of the Star Road Now Q&A.
Golden.
Gordon?
There we go. There's chat.
Good and I'm thirsty.
I'm
Golden.
thirsty.
How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Star Road Now Q&A stream.
Heyo.
Oh shit, I gotta go get a drink.
Duncan! Well, alright, we lost him. He's gone. It's all over.
Duncan's been
No
planning
Bagolgi
that bit
questions.
since we went over.
No
Yeah, he was.
Bagolgi. Bagolgi is no longer real. So, what we're gonna be...
Oh god damn it.
Oh, did we both try and do an intro at the same time?
No, I just looked at the Star Road Now Q&A spreadsheet and somebody got a question in after.
After we started? That's amazing. So, how do we want to start this thing off?
We don't. We leave. End stream.
Okay, we're done.
Alright, fair. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
I can still see you there. Okay.
Okay, enough with the jokes.
I think
Oh,
we're
I
having
thought you were
fucking-
serious.
Duncan is really just not coming back. I think he actually went to get a drink.
He actually
Oh yeah, he did.
That's amazing.
He was planning to do that as soon as we went over.
Fucking love that. That's amazing.
Alright. Well, I've got all the questions.
Yo, cat.
I don't know where we want to start.
From the top.
From the top, of
From the
course.
top.
She dropped.
Do we want to give like a little bit of a rundown?
summary.
A little summary of...
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
No, I think that sip was a weak. Hang on, let me help.
Yeah, you
Alienated
want to do
everyone
it?
immediately.
Ooh, let's do it.
Do it.
You want to do it? Slur? You gotta get closer. We couldn't hear you the first time.
My God.
Alright, enough.
Guys, can I leave? Can I leave? Is it over?
No, you can't leave.
Alright, cat.
I will give a little bit of summary.
I could take
So-
over as host. I know what the people want.
No, you can't.
Slurping?
Cat, give the summary. Go.
I'm just going to put this as a warning. If you haven't watched Star Road Now, leave.
Oh yeah, that's
Precisely.
probably a good idea.
Leave. Please, just don't. We will-
Also, as a note, we will be attempting to avoid spoilers of other games that
Yeah,
are
throughout
after
this
Star
stream-
Road now.
We'll only be
Can
talking
I
about...
finish my summary?
No.
Oh.
I was going to say something about we're not going past a certain point.
Go.
We'll say it.
And boom. The farthest we will go is the end of Star Road Now 12. There may be hints of what happens at the start of Strings 1, which you haven't. If you haven't watched Strings, please go watch Strings.
Aye.
But other than that, we're going to stick pretty much strictly to Star Road Now and the questions regarding that you guys have sent us regarding Star Road Now and wherever the fucking conversation takes us.
Yep.
We'll be limiting how much we actually respond to chat. So if we see a super chat, we will probably respond to that. Thank you, Sagechi, for the $2.
Yeah, hi Sketchy, you're much appreciated.
But other than that, we won't typically really respond unless there's like something, you know, something important that we see in chat.
Yeah.
I am the question bearer, and I've
Yeah.
organized all of the questions.
Do you want me to like reread the Star Road Now opening? I have the whole thing right here.
How much of
We-
it's
Oh yeah,
out
we
of
won't be
date?
talking about Quiet Decay.
Oh, it's very out of date. Do you want me to do it? We open in Electros City, Japan, a technological marvel. The year is 2130. Electros is a place where fiction meets reality. Here, any wayfarer may find themselves swept up in the commotion of life, where new and amazing devices of entertainment and pleasure are being dreamed up before their very eyes. Mythical beasts, cloud cities, casinos that are more like mazes, all this and more can be found behind the smoke and mirrors of Electros. But Electros is like most cities, a place where the rich get richer, and the poor are quickly swept under their coffers and disappear. The fascistic Dream Corporation led the charge of integrated insomnia that has quickly become the draw of this metropolitan nightmare. Through their inventions and crafts, dreams could walk among the living, and for a time it was a beautiful thing. All the foods, pleasures, and adventures one could ask for. That is, until they woke up. The first nightmare appeared only a week ago. Nightmares, a merging of dream tech and living flesh. Beings that augmented themselves in order to become more than human. DreamCorp was quick to cover this up. But not too quick. As rumor began circulating of the horrors that lay beneath Electros City.
Wake
Damn,
the
how-
fuck up, samurai.
Damn, how much of that actually carried over to the game?
Most of
it's
it?
in 2130.
Most of it.
Not an idea.
I'm allowed to talk in prose.
That's fair.
Wesley, you can go
Hi.
fuck yourself.
Wesley,
Okay.
stop talking in so many
Don't
cons.
leave,
How about
don't
that?
do it. We're done with the leaving bits.
Fine.
Thank you.
Excuse you?
Wow.
No, Richard!
No.
Wow. Oh, did my...
Nope, we hear you, Adam. Don't worry.
We can hear
Hang
you.
on. By the
Okay.
thread.
Okay.
Thank you,
Oh,
Richard,
yeah.
for joining us.
I'll never be done.
So,
Thanks.
y'all want to start with the questions?
Let's get some questions.
Yeah,
Let's
go.
I
Do we
wanna
want
get
it?
into these
Should I
things.
start with some honorable mentions of questions that are very funny, but we're not going to answer?
I think you should spread those out throughout the stream.
Okay. Do we want to start with one?
Let's
Sure.
start with something
Yes, let's
stupid,
do that.
sure.
Sure. Why is Edwin Speedwagon gay? Or sorry, why Edwin Speedwagon is gay?
The rumor come out.
The rumor come out, no.
Yep.
End question,
Thanks,
next
guys.
question.
Hiding the
And here's
truth.
a real question. though.
Dislike.
Thought we weren't meant to be answering
This is kind of.
these.
I'm sure this is aimed at Tali, but I do want to pose this to everyone because I think everyone would be fun answering this.
Kill him.
If you could redesign any character from Star Road Now, who would it be and what would they look like?
Ooh.
Um,
Visually or just...
It says what do they look like? So
Okay.
visually, we can go into it if we want to. 'Cause I think I know who. I mean, if you got the chance to redesign
I mean,
something.
I think that's definitely me oriented.
Yeah, but
Or
I
Duncan
will-
with Begolgian Lucky.
I'd make
Or-
Begolgi spikier.
yeah.
I would like to answer the question that's probably aimed at me. Because I've got a few ideas. There are some designs in Star Road Now that I'm not
You get one.
super hip on anymore. Why are you so picky about this?
Because it said one.
Oh, okay. Alright. Of course.
yeah,
No, the first character that I would want to, like, reintegrate into the plot better would be Tom Falery. Actually,
A
because
truly iconic man.
I had a whole backstory built up around him and Dawn, and there was like this underground, like, sort of, it was more of the reasoning as to why Dawn was so readily willing to break the rules and break into DreamCorp, and it never really got touched on, and I was actually going to touch on it in the epilogue, but it didn't seem fitting with all of the, spoiler alert, all of the death stuff going on. So I didn't. But yeah, Tom Falery.
Did Tom Falery survive Star Road Now?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I just don't remember seeing him after Star Road Now.
Yeah, he was at the train station in episode 12.
Mmm.
He was there.
Listen, I'm stupid. I don't remember shit. This is so weird because I don't have music playing.
I mean, you
So,
can
like-
play music.
I can, but also
Fucking-
it's just quiet.
Tally over here, like, let me answer my question. Tally, 80% of these questions are gonna be your question. Chill.
Literally 90%.
True.
It's Tally
What? No, I just wanted to answer because I designed all the characters. Why are you being so rude?
It was posed as open.
I was
wanted to
posing
say
it
my-
as
I wanted to
if
say my
any of
2
us could
words
take a character from
and
Star
then
Wars
dip.
Now and design them differently.
Yeah.
Who would it be and why?
I just wanted to say my opinion. You guys can say yours. I'm not stopping anyone.
I mean, I know who
Anyway.
I would do.
Yeah, who would it be?
Hit me.
It would be Renegade.
I was gonna say, you have one option.
No, no.
I mean,
this
you
is
could
any
choose like the
character.
photographer.
The
This is not how
photographer
I'm
doesn't-
posing the question.
Wesley, I'm redesigning Mercury right now to make him short like he is in my headcanon.
Okay. Go for it.
Short Curie is real.
I'm cutting his height down by like at least half.
Mercury doesn't.
Oh no.
Would we like a better question?
Yeah, let's
Stand
get,
a
let's
short
get a more
king.
interesting question.
More interesting question. This is for parentheses for everyone. Out of all the stands that have been seen/created in Star Road Now, I'm inserting that in Star
Thanks.
Road Now. Which ones do you find your favorite? Favorite Star Road Now stand?
I mean, I'm kind of biased to Rose of Sharon, but Painted Black also has a special place in my heart.
Understood.
I like orange
Sandman.
colored sky.
I really like
Back
Dreamweaver.
in the kitchen, you. Oh!
Dreamweaver's just got a special place for me because I like its design.
Dreamweaver has a great design.
I really
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I like orange colored sky's face and the fact that the arrow was in the fucking the Coke.
And the cola, yeah?
Yeah.
Swirling it around like a mixer.
Yeah.
This
I
I imagined it just like along
with.
with the ice.
I think my favorite. I'm gonna be a basic bitch, and I'm gonna say Eleanor Rigby.
Hey, Eleanor Rigby's fucking great.
That's so
Basic.
good.
She's
Shut the fuck
classic
up.
for a reason.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Mr. Sandman. I think that's my favorite.
Mr. Sandman, hit me real hard. Boom, boom,
Bum
boom,
bum
boom.
bum bum.
Punches
Richard?
really, really hard.
You can be biased to yourself. You can say Soldrak.
Richard's dying.
3.
Act 3?
Act 3.
Which
Understandable.
Soldier actually?
Soldrak.
Still Drac Act 3.
Alright,
Very fair.
Yeah.
I think those are good.
No weird ones. I think those are all pretty.
I also have a slight like soft spot for Red Skies.
Red
Red
Sky
Skies is pretty
is
great.
a-
One of my
Amazing.
favorite abilities, just in
It's a
general.
great ability.
Red
That's so much
Sky's
fun
that
with that.
bitch.
Red Skies at Mercedes Speedwagon.
I think the Red
Red
Skies
Sky's
encounter
that
was
bitch over there.
maybe, looking back, maybe my second favorite encounter from the series, but I gotta think about that one more. If we're gonna be
Ooh,
talking
I don't
about
think-
like not only just stands
Yeah.
and their sort of design and their whole vibe, but if we're also going off of how we enjoyed their encounters.
Yeah,
that's
do you
why
wanna bring
I'm
us
putting
into
Mr.
encounters?
Sandman. That's why I'm putting Mr. Sandman so high, because that is probably my favorite encounter from Star right now.
I'm glad. I really enjoyed that fight.
I still remember
The-
the fucking Jorgen saying, "I have rubber-toed boots," and then Adam is just like, just don't go through the feet. And then Duncan just said, Adam, he discovered one way to stop my power. That means I'm powerless.
My favorite part of that fight was easily Bagolji threatening to blow up the whole building.
Oh
Easily.
my god.
Oh, God.
If we're talking encounters, because I'm 90% sure there wasn't a question actually about what our favorite encounter or like episode was.
That's a good thing to just talk about.
Yeah, we can just talk about that because
Let's talk about that.
I have a very. I think I'm just. My favorite encounter, honestly, is like. I'm tied between MacKenzie and the Mercedes. The Mercedes specifically, the sound of silence portion.
So both masochistic choices.
They are both masochistic choices. Mackenzie because I had no idea what the fuck to do, and the Mercury Mackenzie duel, and Mercedes fuck.
I designed a few characters with the goals of countering other characters in mind. Mackenzie was designed to counter Renegade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I still remember improving Mercury and Mackenzie lore.
That whole thing was amazing, the little duel.
Yeah.
I don't know if
yeah.
that's my favorite encounter, but just favorite thematic encounter, and this is going to sound really fucking strange, but it's legitimately one of my favorites, was Shangdi and Bagolji through Green-Eyed Lady encountering Mr. Electros on the train.
Fair enough.
I fucking just... The set, the music, the relationship between Shangdi and Bagolji is just one of my favorites. They're so much fun to play. I just... I love that. Or like any We're Not Alone scene.
How about the bridge moment?
Oh, don't get me started on the bridge moment. The bridge moment, I can't like count it compared to the other encounters.
Listen, if we're talking about favorite moments, fucking Haman was that later? Yeah, I think Haman Artillery.
The one against Mercedes and her hat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Haman it's just so fucking comical.
It was so good too, because I'm pretty sure...
Hat.
Yeah. You had to get one, but I was gonna say that it was like... I was sick during that whole session, so I was just so done with everything, and you guys setting that shit up just really compounded it on me.
It was a great way to end the fucking Night Porter episode.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
What were you gonna say, Richard?
It's my hat.
What, Richard?
What?
Oh,
This
it's your hat.
My hat.
Well, you got it back eventually, sort of.
Yeah, Haman Artillery moment saved the episode for me. Of the encounter where I spent the entire thing unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember
It was
that
just
shit.
me, and I was really bad at monologuing at the time. I've gotten better.
I'm so bad at
Netflix is
monologuing.
one of those fights that's really fun to watch, but not necessarily so fun to play.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think Night Porter is a great concept. I think
I shouldn't
If
have
Tali
been
were to-
sick when running it.
yes.
Yes.
It's like like that time that I became like super sick mid-session during poppers, and I when I had to be like a
Oh my god, yeah, the whole Arc 10 fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just got progressively sicker.
Yeah, no, if I hadn't been sick too, I would have actually given the photographer art, because I had a design plan for the photographer. He was actually kind of similar to Lucky. He was very blue, and he had a scuba suit.
Blue.
But I didn't want to spend time drawing a fucking scuba suit, and I was sick, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, he can just be a basic vampire. He's gonna be under a rock the whole fight. Who cares? No one's gonna see him.
Let's see.
And then
Then he was seen.
and then he was seen.
Yep.
And then he was seen.
I just got a comment on Sketchy being like, the photographer is my comfort character.
Dude, Sketchy, your design of the photographer is excellent. Love it.
Yes.
Very good.
God damn
Do
it.
we feel good with this question?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start churning through the Tally ones.
Ah! I'm Tali.
Oh fuck, there's so many.
Just grab one.
Hold on. I want to pick a good one. Oh, okay. Let's jump back to how you started with the monologue.
The monologue?
Yeah, because let's jump back to a question about episode 1 and like the inspiration and the start of Star Road Now. It's the question says, there's a bunch of questions like these actually. Why did you choose a cyberpunk city? Was it inspired by Carbon Interface? At all, if any.
I think that definitely had something to do with it. Carbon Interface was like a series that helped me get through college a lot, and I really fucking loved it. And I wanted to try doing something in a similar setting. I think the other reason that I said it in a cyberpunk setting, and this is just like really obvious once you've watched the whole series, it was because of Neo Tokyo. The Scandroid album and everything was kind of like a really big inspiration for writing Star Road Now in general, and the setting itself just kind of led itself to that. It was very similar to a lot of the music I was listening to at the time, and it just worked. And when I wrote episode 1, I did not know Neo Tokyo was going to be the main antagonist stand, but it was a song I was listening to a lot at the time. So yeah.
Nice. Do you want another one? Speaking of Neo Tokyo.
We can go to someone else. We can just like cycle around. I don't want to answer like...
Tali.
What? Alright, sure, hit me.
Tali,
hit me,
if we
fine.
go, if we
You asked
if we
me a
go in
question and I
circle-
answered.
The council has a few questions they'd like to ask you, Tali.
Oh,
Alright,
sure.
fine. Ask me the next question. What's up?
Yeah, okay. We're counseling you. You get 3 questions and then we switch.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Oh, here's a good question. Did you expect us to spare so many people? Specifically villains. It says.
Yes, and only because I've played Plane Hoppers with you guys.
Yeah.
It was just like a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
I've never played with a more friendship-ending group than you guys.
Fuck you, I've got the power of anime and God on my side.
It's definitely because of you, Richard.
We're going for the friendship.
Richard is the ultimate, like... Richard min-maxes for the friendship ending.
Of course. But now, are you talking about the friendship ending or friendship ending?
Friendship ended. Friendship ended
You
with
know-
Mr. Electros.
I think there was one point where I killed one character
Jerry
in
Wong.
the entire series.
Very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you absolutely massacred Jerry Wong. It was amazing.
You are ugly, but I will make you beautiful.
yeah, the whole thing with the roses. God.
That was a really good, like, character setting moment.
It was.
Oh, here's a
I had
good.
enough of his shit.
Here's a good.
Hello?
Good question. The question says, did you plan for Grace to be involved as much as she did, or was it the players?
Entirely the players. 100,000% the players.
Richard, do you want to say how you created Grace?
Wasn't it a fucking, like, bizarre point thing? I was just like, yeah, I know them. They're
Yeah.
my sister.
You bizarre pointed that you knew her, and I had set up the name Grace to just be the waitress's name. You bizarre plus point. There was no plus points, so
There's
you.
bizarre points.
I don't think you didn't have one because this was episode 1, unless you did it after episode 1 ended.
I can't remember.
I'm
you
pretty
could've
sure
also-
we talked
think you
about it
just
after episode 1. I know
improv'd
that
I'll be
much.
real, you probably just improv'd of like, oh yeah, I know them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and yeah,
Afterwards.
Grace was not Sebastian's sister in episode 1. Grace was just a worker there, and they attached to her, and we decided, you know what, Grace deserves art, and I drew Grace in between session 1 and session 2, and she showed up at the apartment because she's his sister.
Ah, God.
And then I married her.
Yep!
Wasn't there a whole subplot where Grace liked fucking Renegade?
Yes, that was a whole subplot. Grace liked Renegade, and Renegade and Sebastian were a thing, and they weren't telling Grace, and Grace hated Jonah at the start, but it was like that whole like turn around of like, wait a minute, you're actually really cool and really sweet.
Secret operas.
It was amazing. I love her romance arc. It's actually so fucking good.
I was so dense that I was completely oblivious to it till the very end.
In episode 10 is where I really started like saying, you know what? If Adam wants to do Grace and Jonah, I'll do Grace and Jonah. And I started like hitting on Jonah a little bit more harder.
Yeah. That was great.
It was fun. I really loved those interactions.
Hmm. And now we have
If
wonderful
I'm-
moments in Severed Strings because of it.
Yeah, there's a moment in episode 2 and in episode 5? No, 4. No. Which episode? 7? 7? It's one of
Which
the
one?
episodes at the apartment. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which episode at the apartment.
Just keep throwing numbers out. We'll get it eventually.
I'm talking about there was a moment where Grace was very clearly crushing on Renegade, and I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it was the soda can. She asked for
yeah.
a crush.
Yes! Yes! Right! I forgot about that dumb joke I made!
God
Damn
damn
crush.
it.
And I as Cat knew. And I think Renegade in
best
character knew. But then there's the whole Sebastian Renegade bullshit.
The best part is this is twofold, because not only did I just want to do this because it made sense for Grace as a character, but Kat and Richard had not told me at this point, so I legitimately
I think that
did
was
not know!
I'm pretty sure that was episode 2. And here's the thing. Actually, no, it had to be arc 1. Because because I was, like, actually considering it at the point. Because Richard and I hadn't actually come up with the Sebastian Renegade plot yet.
Okay, so that was before
that was
all of
just-
that? Alright.
Yeah, it was before all of that. And I was just, at the time, I was just playing Renegade as Oblivious.
I just love how all of that developed, because it's... From the outside, it really seems like we planned it, but no.
No.
Not at all.
Richard and I came up with that in, I think, episode 6. Maybe 5.
That's right.
And then the episode 8 kiss moment,
Yeah.
which is just, like,
Ah.
so iconic.
Ah. Yes.
You want another question?
Yeah.
Fuck. Let me find a group question. Oh,
Group
here's a good question.
question.
This is for all of us. Do any of the Star Road Now protagonists have a pet?
Richard,
What?
doesn't Sebastian have like a pet mosquito?
Oh, he's got multiple pet mosquitoes.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Sebastian is the only reason why the mosquito population isn't gone.
Honestly.
I think Renegade had a cat or a dog as a kid, but not during Star Road Now.
You think Mercury has pets?
No.
Does Rhapsody in Blue count as a pet?
No.
I mean,
Rhapsody in Blue is like owning a toddler.
I
A
mean,
dog toddler.
He always wants to eat. He never does what he's told.
And he tears up the carpet. He's a dog.
Dog.
He doesn't tear up the carpet, he eats the TV!
He eats the TV, he
I
eats
think
the
he's a
doorknobs,
toddler.
he eats all
It
the
has the
cans.
juice.
He's a goat.
I think that
True.
the reason I'm saying toddler is, and I agree, some of those things do sound very dog. The reason that I say toddler is specifically because he understands English. He knows what he knows that he's being told to not do something, and he just does it anyway.
Wait, Jonah has a pet.
I think you're assuming that Rhapsody understands a lot more than Rhapsody does. Rhapsody does not fully comprehend everything.
He can hear words.
He can hear words, but he comprehends them about as well as a dog. When I was playing Rhapsody, I went through the mindset of a wild animal.
Have you listened? Yeah. Jonah has a pet. It's a cat. Its name's Grace.
Nah.
These. Hungry chicken nuggets.
Do we want to ask another
Rhapsody
question?
would be hungry for some
Yeah,
chicken
we
nuggets.
can ask another question. Do we want another group question, or should I...
Solo someone out that's not me.
Richard,
Bring him in here.
this question says, when did Sebastian's fake vampire phase begin, and why?
oh god. I think I originally had it to where his fucking like fake vampire face started whenever he found out his dad died. Reason why? Because he was gonna try to learn vampire bullshit to bring his dad back.
Grace and Seb have a lot of dad trauma.
Yeah.
I don't expect a place to where I can actually say this in the form of like getting asked a question something. So I just want to say, because we're talking about Sebastian being a vampire and all that, I just want to say the reason that I made Mercury was because Tali said like, oh yeah, Richard's playing a character who's like pretending to be a vampire but isn't. So I just said, hey, what if I did a vampire pretending to be a human? And that was it.
Yeah.
And thus, the best boys were awoken.
What's funny is, like, originally, Sebastian's, like, insemination, like, was a joke. Was completely a joke. And then it was made serious after, like, the joke wore off. And it was like, why is he doing this? Oh, that's why. Okay.
We're talking about vampire in the concept art.
Yeah. Well, because I was gonna say, like, the original like idea was kind of bad. Then, like, I think Duncan was the one who made the joke of, oh, play a guy that's pretending to be a vampire, and then drew the art. And I was just like, I don't hate it. I
Should
like
put the
it.
vampire on screen?
Yes, do so.
Yes,
Do you
play
need me
a
to send
vampire.
you the vampire?
No, I've got it.
Good.
I just gotta go find it real quick. It'll take me like a second.
Fucking...
Here, in the meantime, I can talk about what's going on screen right now because we have this GIF playing that we did not explain.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Because over the past month, on Twitter mostly, though most of them are also on YouTube.
Follow our Twitter.
Follow our Twitter, please.
Cat's been working on a lot of this. They work really hard on it too.
That puts a lot of effort in, and they deserve to be recognized. God damn it!
But I asked a bunch of questions about Star Road Now, and it's all of these things are you guys' responses.
Whoa.
Whoa! And so they'll cycle through. I believe Tali said they cycle every 12 seconds.
Yep. Here's the vampire, by the way.
Show bump.
There's Bump.
The Bump.
Show Bump.
That's real,
Yes.
legitimately Sebastian's concept art.
If you, yeah, if you go into the Star Road Now game and you look, the token that says Soul Dracula is that.
Yep.
It was also like a test token for a while there for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I used it to test the health bar colors.
Here, can you make him like tiny and standing on top of the chat window?
Yeah, sure.
There. Special guest. Vamp.
Special guest vampire.
He's sparkly.
Fucking...
Is Vampire the first art I made for Star Road Now?
I don't know if you made him
Probably.
first or Bagolgi first.
I think you did that one
It
first.
might have been
That was
because
in a
Vampire
draw
might have been my warm up on the draw pile where I designed Bagolgi.
It
Yeah.
definitely was.
That sounds right.
I love vampire. Kat, did you finish explaining the polls? I wasn't paying
I did.
attention. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What?
Special guest star, yes.
Do you have any questions for Vampire? Any
For
last
Vampire?
minute questions coming
Anyone
in
want
for
to
Vampire?
ask Vampire a question?
Yeah. What is? No.
Blue.
Wait, hang on. I have no idea how this is gonna sound. I can voice Vampire for you,
Yeah?
but this might sound awful.
Do it.
That's the point.
Hey guys, it's me, Vampire.
No, God.
In a microphone?
It's so soft.
He's very...
You need to be louder.
He's very small. Okay, he's very small. Give him some room.
Everyone listen up. I can turn you up on Discord.
Don't do that.
I can turn you up on Discord. Do
You're
it.
gonna ruin the audio balance.
Vampire.
Shit.
We've got many questions for Vampire.
Oh,
Where
no.
are your arms, Vampire?
What's it like being so cool? Why are you so tall? How did you escape? You drink milk?
Being tall... that's actually a misconception. I am indeed very tiny.
What type of blood do you drink?
Oh, that's also a common misconception. I don't drink blood. The blood cells are too big for my very small body.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the
You
fuck
have-
up.
Vampire, everybody!
No.
Anyway.
You gotta ask a question about the cape.
Oh, okay.
Is it nice?
God, you like the hearts on my kneecaps. Blah.
Vampire.
Everybody. Let's give it a hand.
Yeah.
Get him the
This
fuck
is the
out.
sound of Wesley wants to move on from this bit.
Do you want a
Yeah.
question?
Me question.
Ask Green
Yeah, I'm sure. I swear to God, there is.
Also, make
There's
sure you turn me
one-
down on Discord again. So I'm
I
not too
did,
loud.
don't worry.
Okay.
I swear to God, there was another Mercury question on here or another Westley. And I can't find it. They're all Tali.
I thought
Ask
you
Wesley a
organized
me
these.
question.
I did, but you and Tali got so many combined questions.
Why don't you Control F Mercury? Control F ready.
Control F
That
ready.
was for Tali.
Troll F
That was
ready.
for-
Wow.
God, I'm good at comedy.
All the ones mentioning Mercury are for Wesley, except for this one. Is Mercury ace?
Inconclusive.
Fair enough.
At the current moment, yes. I think the best way to state Mercury sexuality is that the door is unlocked, it is closed, and no one has opened it yet.
No one's got the key to the Mercury-shaped heart.
Sounds like a challenge.
It sounds more like a fucking Pandora's box situation. If you ask me.
No
You
one
don't
has
wanna
opened it,
open
and
that door.
Mercury does not care that no one has opened it. So he's content.
Demisexual
Wesley.
Mercury?
Demisexual Mercury.
Based
Wesley, do you
answer.
want another question?
Sure.
Sure, this one's from Mikey.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy. Alright.
Mercury, in your own words, why are you such a good dad?
This is the one that I knew was coming.
What I showed Tali and Wesley.
Yeah.
Wow. It's probably because.
No, god damn it, there's a bot in chat, hold on.
Ugh.
Kill!
69.
Kill.
XYZ. Kill the bot.
It's kill.
Kill it.
It is kill.
Kill it.
Kill. Anyway. I don't know, it just sort of happened.
Mr. Mercury?
Yeah.
Richard, why did you unhide it?
I didn't see that you hit it.
It's okay, I'm gonna report it.
Are you my dad?
Oh my god, shut no.
I suppose.
Mr. Mercury. That's good. I don't know how to answer the question.
Mom question.
Ask me a question! I want a question.
There's no questions about Dream On.
Tali, I was really hoping that you were gonna say, "Oh, ask me a question," and then immediately start answering a question that you just came up with because Dreamon can see the future.
You know, I got one for Dreamon.
I didn't want to talk
How
over
do you
anyone.
avoid Dreamon? How do you avoid going insane from seeing all those futures all at the same time?
Oh, you don't have to look at them all the time. I just turn them off if they're sad.
Like flipping
Aw.
through a TV channel.
I normally just look at Mr. Mercury.
Oh.
Dream on? Like, what medication do you take? Like, not be so fucking insane.
What
'cause I
medication
remember, like,
do
when
you
we
take
first
for your
met you, when we
ADHD?
first met you, you were all over the fucking place. You were manic as fuck, my dude.
Baseballs?
You
Baseballs.
run him around until he's tired like a dog.
He's constantly on fucking horse tranquilizers.
Oh my god! Mr. Mercury,
I
have a question for
like
you.
to imagine that just being bonded to Mercury has just mellowed him out.
Mr. Mercury,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is your one eye different from your other eye?
Mercury looks off into the distance at the backstory that never got told in Star Road Now.
Speaking of that, do we
There
Moving
want
on.
to
it
talk
is.
about, do we
It's
want to talk
scoring.
about
It's like scrolling into the
Mackenzie's
sunset.
return in episode 8?
I love
And
some
how,
Mackenzie
and
talk.
how Mercury convinced him to help.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
How did that come around? That's the question. How did that happen?
Secret action, right, Wesley?
It was well. I'm just gonna go into a bit more detail of just. I specifically remember you said that I could kill him if I
Right.
wanted because I know he was a vampire and I know how to kill vampires, and
In
then I
episode 3.
specifically chose to not.
Yeah, I think that was not on screen. I think that was
It wasn't.
out of game. I just asked
Yeah,
if you killed him.
Yeah, and I was like, no.
Mercury and Okay, this is something I want to share about that. Mackenzie almost showed up in episode 7. It almost happened there, because I remember specifically that there was a message at some point. It might have been you, Wesley. You might have been messaging me or something. But the thought was like, could Mackenzie shoot through the tent?
Yeah, I wanted to keep that. I kept that open just in case, because that's when the encounter was like actually being difficult.
You were
Yeah.
getting fucked in that.
It was at the point where they were like, we might need help.
I didn't think we would need to do it then, but I was like, okay, well, just in case someone has to get saved.
I still love that I gave him a blood canister just
Yeah.
to see if that would help any.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped him fight longer. Mackenzie, his whole return against Edwin was something that
yes,
I was really glad that... I was worried that's... Because I knew about your secret action. I was worried it was going to trigger before episode 8, because I thought, oh man, episode 8, if he shows up there, it's going to be so amazing. Because he has history with Edwin, and I came up with the whole he's gonna take this time to learn Haman thing, and I was really proud about that, because I was just like, if they get a chance, I'm gonna deal like a lasting blow to the main antagonist.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about that, by the way.
Oh yeah, I totally just sprung that on you.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I love Mackenzie.
Mackenzie good. Rip him.
It was only a matter of time, Mercury.
Rest in dust.
Do we want
about
to
my
do a
dust
fun
then.
question?
R.I.P.
Yeah,
forever,
let's do a
Mac
fun
tonight.
question.
Hey, Tali. Okay, so at the beginning of Star Road Now, Jorgen was the main antagonist.
Correct.
So what did Star Road Now mean at the beginning of that?
What did Star Road Now mean? It was an atmospheric choice for the themes of the game. It was not a real place at the start.
Nice.
It became a real place around episode 3 or 4, maybe. Star Road Now was supposed to represent this, like, dreamy atmosphere that I wanted the game to have.
And then it became a place.
Yep.
And we have to go there.
Yep.
Now.
Yep. There it is. Ding!
Hey, Tali, do you want to also talk about why Jorgen was switched off of the main antagonist?
Because I thought he was boring. Honestly. Like, the simple answer. I thought he was fucking dull. And I was just like, no, we gotta go deeper. Because, yeah, sure, I could reveal him. But the chances that people figured out his ability was literally, I just hit really fucking hard, was, like, super high. So... I also kind of wanted a main antagonist with much more of a mysterious ability than Jorgen's. Yeah, the idea that, oh, we go this whole 12-episode series, or it was longer at the time, and we reveal that at the very end that his ability wasn't anything crazy, it was just that he hits really hard.
I still appreciate the idea of that.
I know it's a fun concept going that long just for that to be the reveal.
It just
Yeah.
didn't seem reasonable for me to pull it off. So
The-
I
The way
swapped it
that
out.
it ended up turning out still worked. I
Yeah.
think for the reveal being that.
He turned into a really fun arc antagonist, and I think he set up the rest of the series pretty well.
Absolutely.
Can I point to Beefin's question?
Yeah! I saw
How did
that.
no one notice the Shadow Man? It had Edwin's voice during the Wonderland scene, and I know exactly how. It's because we had met Edwin. We had heard Edwin's voice A once and B in the Wonderland scene. He was talking a lot slower.
Yep.
Did he talk in that scene? I don't even
Yes.
remember him talking.
I had the suited man speak on a few occasions, and I gave him Edwin's voice, but I wanted to mask it because Edwin's fast talking is a persona he puts on. So when he's just normal, he's just
Talking more like this. More.
I do
normal.
remember in the next episode when me and Bagolji were talking to him in the flashback. It was cut out of the episode for obvious reasons, but I expressly said, he sounds like Edwin.
oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
And then that night was the night that I figured out and monologued all the Edwin stuff.
Yeah.
I don't super remember that part.
Do we want to talk about the lost episode?
Oh my god, we can talk about the Lost episode.
Because I feel like that's something really interesting that we should talk about.
Yeah.
Get your creepypasta hats on, folks.
One second. There was also a question kind of tied to A, the missing episode, and B, episode 7 and 8. Where is it?
There's a missing episode?
Yeah, you
Richard, you were in it.
Of us?
Richard, that's the thing. I'm right there with you. I don't quite remember this either.
I don't think
Duncan
was
wasn't
in
in
it.
it.
Duncan wasn't in
I
it.
wasn't in it?
No.
Because we did
Okay,
it on
then I'm justified to not remember it.
Yeah. You remember how we used to do for Plane Hoppers,
Found it.
like, chill out
Yeah.
things? Kind of just during the week whenever we felt like playing it?
Mhm.
Like tennis episode and all of that? Well, we did the same with Star Road Now once.
Can I ask this question? That
Yeah.
relates directly to it.
You're gonna make everyone on the edge of their seats, but go for it.
The question is, did the PCs miss some definitive clues or options that would reveal Edwin earlier, / how would it change if the story, if they found out something like that confronted before episode 8?
Oh, I have to
And
say
the answer
something.
to it...
Oh,
Oh, I was just going to say the answer is we did figure it out before episode 8.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to be like... The only reason that Edwin was revealed there was because Edwin was figured out early.
Yeah. And we can talk about the last episode now, because that...
I want to talk about the last episode.
Go for it.
So, this is where Edwin's reveal was theorized on the most, and unfortunately it was cut because I remember there were some things that were non-canonical and illogical that were thrown in there that I didn't want to do, and I don't think I fully prepared because one of the big parts of it was it was basically just a sit down and chill at the Soul Street apartment. So it was Grace, Renegade, Mercury, Sebastian, all sitting around the couch and talking about the situation. And part of it was a sanctuary scene where they all went into sanctuary and talked with June and who else would have been there? I think it was just June. No,
No, it was a bit of a Cole and Midge.
Cole and Midge
Yeah.
were there too. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I hadn't met them yet.
Yeah, right, because it was Sebastian meeting them for the first time.
Also, didn't we have like a little gag that while everyone else had like those crazy adventures in different places, Grace and I had like a fucking
Yes!
run with somebody?
We joked that Grace and you had, like, kicked the ass of some stand user.
I might.
Actually... no, you go, Richard.
Oh, I was gonna say I might try to plot point that at some point in strings.
Oh my god!
Just to have yet another fucking guy show up.
Of course. What I was gonna say is you can tell that it happened there and like there was an element of some of the characters had figured it out, and you can tell because if you rewatch episode 7, you will notice Mercury has a slightly uncomfortable air about him whenever the Speedwagon Foundation is around.
Yeah. Was Richard
What's this?
actually sick in episode 2? Is a question
Yes.
from me, Finn. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
it
that's
was.
a quick one. Yeah.
Yeah. I was legitimately like in immense amounts of pain. my throat was hurting. Like, it didn't come through on the recording that much, but like, my voice kind of sounded a little gravelly like this at times, but I'm able to like adjust a little bit here and there, and so I can like do a little blah 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 and tone it off a little bit, so it sounds fine.
Oh yeah, this is a small
Got
question.
my throat.
Richard?
I don't know if I don't know if this is in the later things, but it was asked me on Discord. It was did Westley or Tali design Dream On? Tali designed him.
Hello.
Design ability, and also Tali said in the lead up, Tali said, "Make sure Dream On dies."
Yeah, I did say that.
And
Tali did not want to give us the ability to see the future
Hey, that
for
leads into
obvious
a question.
reasons.
That leads
And
directly
then-
into a question.
And then, of course, you know.
And then you
didn't.
made him too lovable.
Yeah. No one wanted to kill him.
Tali says kill a guy while Richard's in the room. That's not gonna go well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
True.
should. I think at the point I expected something would go wrong, but I was just like, you know what? Let's just try this.
Yeah.
See what happens.
And then it was just like an understanding of like, yeah, we're not going to use Dream On to break the game.
You
And
basically.
if anyone questions it of like, hey, why didn't you guys use Dream On more? It's JoJo.
No,
Yeah.
that's not the reason I normally accept. The reasoning for not using Dream On that I accept is that Dream On's a child. Like, mentally a child. The whole super powerful ability limited by the fact that Dream On... They didn't want to, like... I don't know, torment the kid? If that makes sense.
I like what Mike said. If they overused Dream On, he would die of stress.
Mr. Mercury, I can't stop seeing people dying!
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have totally happened.
Yeah.
Yes, stuff fun. Stuff fun.
Hey, Tali, speaking of abusing stands,
Oh.
what was your biggest worry when it comes to player stand power abuse?
Richard, actually.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
example I gave
it
was,
was-
Mercury making people float into the sky.
Oh, yeah, that was before we played the system. I was, at the time, worried that he would just kill people with fall damage and I would have no counter to it, but having played the system now, obviously that's not a legitimate concern at all.
Also,
Yeah.
didn't
Honestly,
Westley-
that's if I was allowed to do that, that's probably something I would have done once and then thought like, okay, that's kind of boring now.
I was gonna say, Wesley, didn't you give yourself a fucking like permanent condition or flaw or something where like he couldn't do that?
Oh yeah, it's my critical weakness for power.
Yeah, so with with Don't Stop Me Now, it was a matter of I just didn't know how fall damage worked in the system, and in retrospect, that wasn't a legitimate thing that it should have been a concern. What legitimately could have been a concern was
Sebastian.
okay, so in JoJo's, right, the most threatening thing you can have is a success or fail state, because damage through dice, it's always balanced. But if there is a definitive success or fail state of a system, it can get busted really quick. And Sebastian's ability to mind control people, I was very worried that was gonna fuck something up.
Oh, well, right. Fucking this takes me back to one of the questions that was asked earlier about redesigning the character. If I could redesign Sebastian's ability, I would tweak it a little bit to where I could, it would stay the same, but we never used like the resolve health and all that stuff much, and so I never really got to go beyond the limits. So if I could have like done things like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I can sacrifice like 5 resolve HP or just 5 actual HP to like get 10% extra blood in somebody, I would be doing stuff like that just because I would have like an actual reason to use things like Act 1 more.
I think I really wish Act 1 was different too, because I felt like it was a case of you never really wanted to use it because some of the ways that it was used were just not strong enough, and then
Yeah.
other ways were so busted that it doesn't feel fair.
Renegade.
Yeah. It's just like
Renegade bomb.
Renegade Bomb. It's just like one of those situations where like it could have been bad, and it thankfully worked out real well because we wanted to work together on it.
Oh, and the fucking Act 1. Act 1 is whenever, like, I started doing the whole thing of, like, oh yeah, he's got a bunch of mosquitoes as pets.
I
And
love
Tali
the
was just
mosquito
like,
shit.
you
So
what, mate?
ridiculous. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Give him his mosquitoes.
I had so many times where I had set secret actions where it was like, okay, so this thing's gonna happen, and thus this mosquito that I was controlling with Act 1 is going to inject the final, like, 1% of blood that I need in this one person, and make me able to
funniest shit.
fucking do
It was always
Yeah.
Renegade.
Yeah, Renegade's just the best one.
Did a
honestly.
mosquito secret action ever go off in the original?
I think
Star Wars?
one. I think
One. I thought it was Star Wars Now episode 2.
I think it was either episode 2 or episode 4, maybe. But
Hey
I'm
guys,
pretty sure it
remember
was
when
Renegade.
Sebastian almost died in episode 2? Good times.
How did I almost die on that one again? I
The
forget.
secret, the
You
villainous
went and
action I
hugged a
set up.
mine.
Yeah, you hugged the landmine. Richard's next stupid idea that he says he has to follow through with.
Hey guys, I got a stupid idea.
It's just like, hey, that activates a villainous action. That's the funnest shit in the world, and I
can't
I
wait
would felt
for
so
that.
bad if that killed you.
I can't wait for me to do that again. Call me
gonna
out,
say-
Westley. Cat, Tali, do it.
I'm setting up a call out for part 3. There is a call out secret action.
I have one for recess. I
It's-
can double check that. it's
Will it
for
happen?
recess.
I don't know.
Hang on. For part 3 and
I
for
wouldn't
recess-
target Richard 2 times in a row, guys. Don't be ridiculous. That wouldn't happen.
Oh, sorry. I don't have one for recess. I have one for Hypnochrome.
Oh shit.
Not even my main game.
That's setting villainous actions in a game that's not even technically there.
It's mine.
I'm pretty sure that's how most secret actions are set.
No!
Villainous actions.
Oh, villainous action.
Villainous actions. Oh, look, it's adult dating site bot.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. Never seen that before. Anyway, do you want to do another question?
Hey, I just saw one in chat. I just want to say, Star Dreamer, go watch The Quiet Decay. You'll get your answer there.
Yeah, go watch the horror. Go watch Quiet Decay.
Oh,
For
yeah.
that question.
Yeah.
Richard has a secret action 4 months in advance.
There's one that we're not actually going to actually answer legitimately. Somebody asked, "Can I marry Jonah?"
No.
Over
Good
my
luck.
fucking dead body, bitch.
There's your answer.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Tali, here's a great question for you, though.
Hello.
Let's talk about Edwin.
Let's talk about that.
There's so many Edwin questions. I think my favorite one is actually, what would have happened if we didn't leave the arrow at the police station?
Oh,
Or,
that
like,
is an
if we
excellent
stole it.
question.
Because the question is, was it possible to make it that Edwin wouldn't steal the arrow? But I want to know what would have happened if we just didn't leave it.
If you just didn't leave the arrow there, I would have sent a specific strike force to retrieve it, and I probably would have revealed him sooner, because he would have had to have taken more drastic measures to fight you guys. And that actually goes into a cancelled episode, which I probably would have done that with, which is where I was gonna do it. It was the original villains episode.
Oh,
where
yeah.
a group of villains was going to attack the police station in order to steal the arrow back, and they were also going to take Edwin hostage, thus solidifying Edwin as a much more of a, trustworthy, oh yeah, he's not a bad guy. And Edwin was going to call for help, just being like, I am a hostage, help. And that was going to be the whole episode.
Fuck, we could have had the hostage negotiation RP with Edwin.
Yeah.
Damn it.
God.
It would have been
You know
so
what
good.
I would have been saying, like, out of character, just, okay, so why do we want to save him? Like, can we just make them kill him?
Excuse me, I
Oh my
Jonah,
God.
please help.
Alternate universe alert.
Jonah!
This was before the Edwin reveal.
Alternate universe where Edwin has
of
to
course.
fake his own death.
Of course they wouldn't have actually offed the guy.
Oh my god, imagine.
Here's another Edwin question.
They wouldn't be able to.
Edwin question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would have happened if he died on the bridge?
That is a question indeed. So I have 2 ideas on
Well,
that.
the question is, were there plans? What were the plans if Edwin were to die on the bridge?
Contingency.
Were there
yeah.
plans? Were there contingency plans? I can check my notes real quick, but I don't think so.
Part of me feels like he would have just swapped his head at the last second.
Do I have a contingency plan for if Edwin died? You know, you'd think I would have, but I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I expected a skyscraper full of vampires to be enough to handle you guys. Clearly, that's my fault. That was my mistake.
It's just one renegade.
It's just one renegade.
One renegade.
Here's my answer to that. What I likely would have done is I would have made Mercy more of a anti-hero type villain. And I would have taken Mercedes in a revenge quest towards kind of avenging Edwin, and we would have gotten that. Would it have been as compelling and interesting as what happened? Probably not, but I think I would have taken Mercy and made her the bad guy.
Fair. That would have been
Mercy
interesting.
serves-
Personally, I think that that would
Bad
be
guy.
like equally interesting.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, because I had the 4 stands of Mercy, I had Red Skies, and Jonah literally doing that whole "I'm disowning you" to her was an excellent motivation, so I definitely would have gone with her.
Yeah.
Especially because
definitely-
at that point I hadn't revealed all the behind-the-scenes stuff, so I could have easily just been like, changed Mercy's backstory and no one would have noticed.
Yeah,
I was
just-
convinced Mercy was full evil.
And there you go.
See, I
That
was.
was I.
I was the one that was like, I don't. Well, one of the ones probably. I don't know if anyone else felt this, but I was like, something ain't right about that girl. She don't feel evil.
That boy ain't right.
I had a whole thing with Jonah where he was confused and not sure how to handle the information he had just received, and at a point of not trusting Mercedes and demanding an explanation.
And Tali. Remember whenever Jonah and Mercedes were like tried to be a thing?
No, that was
God.
Jonah trying to be a thing with Mercedes.
I thought you
And-
were trying to do
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, I thought it was the other
No,
way.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Because I thought
I don't
Adam
remember
saw her-
intentionally doing anything. It might have been misinterpreted, but I definitely
I remember
don't think
you.
I was.
Because I specifically remember Tali saying, and I quote, "It's Japan."
It's Japan!
I did say that.
And that was the context, I believe.
Tali, what? Remind me,
I
why
don't
did you
remember
say
that was so long ago. That was
Why, Tali?
Why did I say that? Cause
It was funny.
it was funny.
Yeah, it is funny. You're right.
The
Still-
concept of Jonah and or Mercy having hots for the other and them being like
Oh yeah, we're step siblings.
step siblings, yeah. I don't know.
Weren't they-
What are you
It's a
doing,
bit of
step bro?
it's a bit personally, I think it's a bit muddy water because they like. It's more like when did they like actually become step siblings? Like it was long enough to the point where they could have just like not registered as siblings.
Yeah, essentially. I think if that was probably my logic behind that, but also the fact that Mercy's character wasn't fully developed when she first showed up. So if anything weird happened then, that's probably why. A lot of my characters are like that, where they're not fully developed when they first show up.
Oh, I want to say this now that we're talking about Mercy, just because I forgot to mention it when we were talking about like figure evidence that Edwin was like the bad guy and everything. I think my favorite piece of evidence that I noticed was that Mercedes's eyes and Edwin's eyes were not the same color green, and Edwin's green eyes actually more matched Mercury's color contacts.
Finagle asked to be killed. Don't worry about
Oh, okay.
it. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I remember that, Wesley. You did point that out, and I love that. There are some things that I do where I'm just like, okay, unintentional, but that's cool that it worked. That was an intentional choice, and I'm so glad you picked up on that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted
I-
Edwin's to be the same color as Mercury's, so I color picked them. Same contacts.
Yeah, I remember that when I first saw them both, I noticed it and thought it was weird, but I just thought it was a weird stylistic choice.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes with real people, the eyes aren't the exact same color. However,
Yeah, but
it was intentional, and I love that you pointed it out.
you know.
Okay, here's a good question. Actually, who do we want to get going on lots of rambling? Tali or Westley?
Wesley,
I've rambled a
definitely
lot. Get
Wesley.
Wesley going.
Okay,
Yeah, let's get some Wesley rambles.
This question is basically about the end of Star Road Now and how much you had planned and how much you told Tali.
I told Tali Vard's name and that I would do things and just to trust that it would make sense.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about how much you had planned at the start of
Okay, so
percentage wise?
I actually have a very easy way to say this without any spoilers. It's simply saying which episodes that I had and knew what was going to happen. Alright, so from episode 12 of Star Road, what I had planned in strings was all of Arc 1 except for episode 5. And all of Arc 2 except for episode 10. Not 10. 9. So most of the first 2 arcs were planned. Some details changed along the way. But in general, those were the ones that I had planned already.
Nice.
I think I remember specifically there was a moment. The moment that stands out to me as most clearly, you can tell this from the viewer's perspective, but in episode 12, there's a moment where Vard, kicks a brick wall, and a brick up above just fucking shoots out. And I remember thinking during that moment, what the fuck have I allowed into my game?
Nothing worse than me.
I don't know, man. Knowing now?
What have you allowed to your game? Us, apparently.
Us.
Yeah, us.
There was a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff like that, because, as
Man, I
far
can't
as
wait to
Vard's
experience
inclusion, I was told Vard's name, full name, given the art.
I remember having a very happy reaction when I said Vard's name, and you were like, "Oh, that's a name."
Yeah, it was a good name. And also the ending art, of course. It's just really cool. We set up the whole... I knew what was going to happen with Jorgen, that whole scene we set up together.
Yeah.
I built the map. I remember we talked about specifically in the ending art, he needs to be on the car, just crushed in the background.
Yeah.
It's so important. There was actually an ending of Star Road Now before this that was so much different, and it was back when I was still doing this, I wonder if I can write episodically for JoJo's, and then threw that to the complete wayside with future games. But it involved Edwin in Sanctuary being the ending.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I showed it to Wesley, and I'm pretty sure what you said was basically that works, but it's bad, so let's do something better.
I think what I said
Basically.
was all right. What I said was it works great as the ending of a manga or a book, but because it's a TTRPG, it would work much better if the players were the ones to do it.
Yep, and then we came up with how Nocturnal Rose worked, because Adam wanted a Requiem at some point. I believe we had talked about this out of character. And I was just like, okay, so what if we set up the Requiem so it's... Because the worry with Nocturnal Rose was it was going to be just Jonah v. Edwin as the ending, and that, again, has the same problem of not everyone feels involved. Mm-hmm. So we set up the whole, what if everyone gets to make their own learning point for Jonah and help with the whole ending? And then we got that satisfactory beatdown, and that's still one of my favorite just things in all of Star Wars now. It was so fun.
Edwin falling off the edge and into the abyss, that was from the original ending. That was still great.
Yeah.
That
That was one of those things of I I know I can't force it to happen, but I'm gonna heavily suggest it, and
Yeah.
I hope
We
they
rolled
do
with
it.
it.
Yeah.
Freaking now he's stuck in that place, and I am curious.
Mr.
He doesn't even
Falls.
have a limb to jack off with. He's just falling to the void.
I don't think he has, like, below the waist to do that with either.
Oh my god, guys!
Well,
I'm
we
gonna,
covered it
guys,
up.
I'm
I
gonna
know we cut his
have
legs
to
off.
get
Did we
up. I
cover
have
that?
to go. I have to go catch a rat.
What?
Alright, have fun.
I'm looking across my room in the bathroom, and I see this little guy like across the fucking cabinet.
There you go! Go get him!
Guest star. I'm going to go bring him. I'm going to put him on mic.
No.
Please
I'm going to put
don't.
him on mic,
Please
ask him some
don't.
questions.
Please
You
don't.
will get bit.
Wait, what? The fuck?
And here goes Duncan. Okay.
There you go.
Oh goodness.
He just wants to be your friend.
I love Blue in the chat. He wants to be your friend!
Shall we take another question?
Yeah, what's the rambly one you had for me?
Oh, fuck, it was right below the list. Where? No, I have to find the Westley one because I black these out as I go. Oh! Okay. Oh, it was, what led to you reimagining and redoing Star Road Now for Aura?
Oh, this is a wonderful question. A one-off joke. It was literally posed as, what if I ran Star Road Now and it was exactly the same, keep that in mind, for the Samurai crew? It then turned into, what if I made alternate universe versions of all the characters and redid the encounters with slight twists? And from that it turned into, let's just completely do an alternate universe, because I guess I have a plot.
Good times, good times.
Good times.
Aura is in true Star Road Now fashion, Aura is a complete accident that I rolled with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I could have honestly got a better way.
You gotta love the happy little accidents.
Yep. For those unaware, Aura is alternate universe Star Road Now. Run
Yeah,
for
Please
the
watch
on
Aura.
the road again, it is, in my opinion, far better than Star Road Now, but that's a personal opinion. It's fun. You also get a completely different cast of players.
Yeah.
So if you're bored of our stupid faces, well, actually, you can't escape me, but... or Kat or Wesley.
Or, yeah, we helped.
You can escape Duncan, and that's what really matters, and he's not
You
here to
escape
defend
me.
himself.
And Adam. And Richard.
Well, yes, but I wanted
Or
to make fun of
no.
Duncan. Because he's up.
Hey, Tali, do you want to talk about pussy control?
Jesus, what the fuck?
Sure, sure.
The question is, on Twitter, it was said that
Yeah,
pussy
I'll talk
control
about
is
it,
kept
pussy.
secret by incident. Could the reason why be elaborated without part 3 spoils? There's also another pussy control question that I can also ask, which is, did you expect that pussy control or mysterious woman?
Yeah, for those unaware, we call the mysterious woman that appeared at the end of Star Road Now Pussy Control.
Yeah.
Because this is my life. Thank you, Mika. Thank you.
What is?
so
Yeah.
much.
So, what's your opinion
about
of the
that.
pussy control name? And
Oh, what's my
also-
opinion of the name?
Yeah. What's your opinion of this character, mysterious woman, being dubbed pussy control?
Okay, I have a story for this.
By
So,
Mika.
first and foremost, this was before we had the Discord server. So I first saw the name in YouTube comments. And when I saw the name, I was very confused because I did not know who the fuck it was. I kept reading further and I was like, did they just come up with a name for my character? I fucking hate it. I hated it at first. I was very like, God, that's awful. But some time went by, we got the Discord server, and they eventually described to me why they chose the name. And it's a song from the Gold Experience Prince album, which I had not heard at that point, but I heard it afterwards. And I listened to the song, and I got the whole vibe from it, and knowing that it's from Gold Experience, which leads into the whole Arrow experiments in... not experiments, but the whole Arrow saga in the actual JoJo verse, the canon JoJo, I thought, you know what? It's a lot more fitting. It fits her vibe. Sure, it's a fine name for now. And I regretted those words ever since.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Hey,
I've
Duncan.
noticed Miha does that with basically every unrevealed character.
Yeah, just
It's a
completely
lot of
take
fun.
a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
When her name actually does get revealed, God.
Do I have the rat?
Yeah, do you have the rat?
You
Yeah, I
have
got
the
him.
rat.
I got him. I got him right here.
Hey guys, it's me, the rat.
Alright.
Hey
Do we have any
guys,
questions
I
for
got
the
any
rat?
questions for me, the rat?
No.
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 I have a question. Why do you do the
No.
squeak? Why do you do the squeak?
No.
It's just how we talk to each other, bro. It's how we communicate. It's our language. It's the
Damn.
It's
language of
very
our people,
culturally insensitive.
Get him out of here.
Wait.
Throw him into the window. Throw him into the soup. Brew him for later.
What? Wait,
Give
Give me
the
another.
rat-
Give me
the
the
rat
other
wrestling
pussy
ring.
control question. I want to answer the
I
other
did.
one. Oh, you did? You only
Yeah,
gave me
it
one.
was. Oh no, the first one I read, you didn't really answer. It was basically you mentioned on Twitter that there was pussy control was like kept a secret by accident. Where was it? Hold on, I lost it. I swear, I had it.
Well done, Kat.
Pussy control was kept a secret by incident. Could the reason be elaborated why? You apparently said that on Twitter.
Oh shit.
I don't remember what post I said that on.
Was it possibly just her name?
Might just be the name, and that wasn't. It was intentional and unintentional at the same time. I guess because I first and foremost thought I would reveal the name sooner than I did. And also because in the original speech that I had planned to give during the Edwin flashback, I did intend to reveal her name. I just simply thought it wasn't fitting at the time, nor reasonable for her to say it. So I didn't, and I changed the script. And that, of course, led to... God, there they are again, while we're talking about pussy control.
God damn it! Thank you, Richard.
Yep.
That led to the whole thing of like, oh, well, now I gotta wait till part 3 to reveal the name. I'll find a spot. If anything, I kind of regret putting her in that episode for reasons that I can't really talk about in this stream, but there are things that happened which caused that to be, like, a real big pain in the ass for me. But yeah, I think that answers the question. That
Nice.
her name was kept a secret, just kind of...
Because on the
it
fly.
didn't fit, yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. I don't know why I have this labeled like this, but the question is... nope, that is the wrong color. Lamau, what was the original origin of Sound of Silence?
The original origin of it?
Yeah, if you have one. If you can talk about it.
Yeah, I can talk about it.
Yeah,
So,
because
Sound
we all
of
know
Silence,
that Westley
yeah.
claimed Sound of Silence.
Yeah. So there's the little bit of the... I had backstories in mind for all of them, but they were not fully fleshed out. It was more so like... You know how you just know something about a character in your head, and you don't write it down, and you just have it there? It's like that. So the feeling for Sound of Silence was simply that it was just a bunch of similar experiments to the kids for Star Road. So it was the same idea as, like, you know, some of them showed up in Star Road early in those gas chambers before I had the artwork of them. And that was in episode 8. And the idea was that they were like an artificial gas weapon created by Star Road in order to counter people with stands. Kind of like a stand experiment, which is ironically very fitting. And I think that I could have gone with that backstory, but I didn't have a place to do anything with Sound of Silence in the future, so I was just like, you know what? Let's see what Westley has in mind. Go for it.
Yeah, because I asked, hey, if you have anything in mind, I have a really good place to put this.
And oh yeah, I don't regret anything.
Hey, go watch Strings.
Go watch Strings, it's fun.
Hey, go watch Strings!
Hey, go watch
Come on.
Strings. But yeah,
Kill.
that's that.
Need.
Surprise!
Howdy.
God, when that episode that we most recently recorded goes up.
Let's not. Let's
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Oh
We'll get there.
God.
I'm building tension for it. Okay?
Yeah, build tension for it. God, it's
I'm
such
building
a good
tension for
episode.
it.
Oh, Tali.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about Star Road Now Heffy?
Howdy. Sure. What do I
That's
want
not
to
Star
talk
Road Now
about?
Heffy. Where is it?
That Heffy.
Yeah,
That
Hephaestus.
Heffy.
That Heffy.
Oh, the
Hephaestus
question that-
Cortez?
Yeah, that originally actually references Hephaestus. The question actually is, are there any other characters who began as Star Road Now characters who never showed up?
Yes, I definitely
Scrapped
had
Star Road Now
quite a
characters.
few characters that were scrapped from Star Road Now.
Villain
Um,
episode.
I
Villain
had a
episode.
song called Fool on a Hill was going to be used for a clown. That eventually turned into Cosmos and Lucky. Memento Mori was going to be used at one point, and that was never used. I had some Tom Waits songs that I wanted to use, but they didn't get used. There was Ring Around the Rosie was going to be the episode fight for episode 4, and also technically episode 1, because I was going to put episode 1 in the middle of a heist. The idea was Dawn's brother, had been kidnapped by Dream Corps. This is proto Star Road Now here. Dawn's brother had been kidnapped by Dream Corps and was currently in experiments run by the Dream Corporation in an eternal sleep, and he was called a Master Dreamer. These were people that are able to elicit stands when they're dreaming. This idea got entirely scrapped. However, the first idea was you, with the police, break into Dream Corps episode 1 and fight against a stand called Ring Around the Rosie, which entraps people within a ring, and you cannot get out unless you guess which rose in the ring is the real stand. And then you hit that and you get out. And then a character called Hephaestus Cortez, who had a stand called Ring of Fire. Based on the god of the forge, Hephaestus, he, at the time, was able to create a massive fireball, basically, just so the two stands would work in unison. And the only reason I didn't do this for the original fight was, 1, because the story changed, and 2, because I felt like it was way too powerful for a first fight.
I agree.
So then in comes Night Stroller.
Yeah.
In strolls Night
We
Stroll.
love Night Stroll.
So yeah, Dawn's brother got cut. He was gonna have
Yeah.
green hair. He was gonna be he was gonna be a journalist.
My question is, does he
Name's
still
Quick
exist
Clips.
in universe?
To be determined, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing disproving it.
There's nothing disproving Dawn has a brother.
Dawn's
Not at
brother
all.
debunked.
Yeah, so that was the
Conspiracy
inspiration
theory.
for Hephaestus, and then Percy came from Westley, actually. To answer Blue's
Yeah.
question.
Schrodinger's
sibling.
sibling.
You two said that at the same time, oh man.
Haha. Siblings
Nice.
power.
Group question?
Good question.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, this is one of my favorite questions that I got to read that I did tell Tali about pre-stream. It's basically, the question says, out of curiosity, was there another character that could have been in Star Road Now's crew that was cut due to a change, or someone was better to play than the other? It's basically asking if there was anyone else who was supposed to play in Star Road Now but didn't.
That was our whole group at the time, I think.
That was our whole group at
Yeah.
the time, and that's why I wanted to talk about this question, because I found it really funny of no, there wasn't anyone else.
Yeah, literally,
Literally no
the
one
whole
else, yeah.
group.
That was the whole group.
Yeah,
Because we had, it was us 6.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Because
I think
our only other game at the time was Plane Hoppers.
I think at the time I
Understand.
almost didn't play.
Yeah, I think I had to convince you to play, because you didn't know JoJo, and I was just like, come on, it's fun.
Oh,
It's
I
anime,
also
just
had
be
to be
anime.
convinced for the
Right, yeah, same reasoning. I had to convince
Yeah.
you to play.
I was willing to try it out, even though at the time I didn't like JoJo because part 1 sucks. Fight me.
I enjoyed part 1.
I also enjoyed part 1.
I watched the first half of part 1 and then got so bored that I was like, all right, I'm not
It's
finishing this.
very boring, but I memed on it with my college roommates, and we had
I
a
was watching
blast.
it alone.
Yeah, I could see
I watched
that.
it alone and I enjoyed it.
But
You just got tolerance
fucking-
for bad stuff, too. So.
no, I would have had to be convinced if I knew it was a sci-fi series.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know about until after Star Road was over. You never told me you didn't like sci-fi until after it was over.
I didn't know that it was gonna be sci-fi or like futuristic at all. In fact, take this as a challenge. Watch Strings and then imagine it in modern day. Almost everything still works.
That's a mild gripe of mine, is that you didn't do anything with the future tech, but you
I'm
know what? It's fine.
I'm sorry, but if I tried, it would suck because I don't
worry.
like sci-fi.
Don't worry, I'm gonna do a lot with future tech in part 3.
Yeah, exactly. Leave that
I
to the
love
people who
future
enjoy it.
There's some
Yeah,
stuff
totally.
in Hypnochrome and Recess that I'm gonna drop.
Well, that's
That's
you.
because I've come up with it.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, but Wesley's also running those games with me.
Yeah, but Wesley's the... If you came up with those, it doesn't mean that Wesley came up with those.
Yeah, but
God,
he's the one who
I'm-
helped me with them.
I am so looking forward to the other parts. It's just gonna get fun.
It's gonna be
That'll be
very
fun.
fun. I really can't wait to play part 3 because, I'm just gonna share this. This is a little behind the scenes. Technically speaking, part 3 was supposed to start in the summer last year. And then a
sorry.
lot happened. No, it's okay. I mean, you literally, like, got doom-handed.
Yeah.
That sucked
Yeah.
for you. It's not like I can
It
blame
still
you on that. Yeah, I know!
I still
Okay.
have, for those who don't know, I have a very bad hand injury on my hands where doing almost anything hurts.
At this point, we can basically just say you have arthritis.
Probably.
Basically,
Isn't repetitive stress arthritis?
Yeah. So I have to put, like, kinesthesiology tape on my hands every day.
Kinesiology tape is such a hard word to say.
Yeah, right? I also recently got these cool gloves because they were an option to pair with a wrist brace that Richard suggested to me. Fun fact, I haven't actually told Richard this. I don't use the brace because it hurts my hand more, but I do use the gloves, so it's still in a roundabout helped. In a roundabout way.
Jesus.
Roundabout.
Wesley is an absolute machine when it comes to making things, though, and he can't control it.
Actually, though.
Legitimately.
If I could just take like a few months of a break, I'd probably be healed, but I just physically can't.
We tried really hard on
We
vacation.
got a couple weeks.
We did get a
Yeah, I
couple
got a few
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah,
And it
how
helps
was
a
that
lot.
for you?
Oh,
That's good
yeah.
to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, my hands actually felt a lot better while I was visiting there because we're pretty sure that it had to do with the difference between the pressure here in California and there in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's like dragging a jellyfish off the surface.
Yeah.
Wesley's a blobfish.
He's
I
a
am a
blobfish.
blobfish.
It just means he has
Love
high
Blub,
joint
blub, blub, blub,
pressure.
blub. That just means he's always tense in my mind.
Yeah,
Doesn't surprise
probably.
me, Mr.
Intense, Wesley.
Mr.
It's
Mr.
illegal to
sits
bring
down
him
and
on
works
airplanes.
like a goddamn machine. Like, I thought I was bad. You have the like sit down and work through a whole thing until like 3 a.m. curse way worse than I do.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I went to bed before midnight.
Oh,
Same, dude.
but the curse of not curse, blessing. I don't want to be rude. Of living with someone who forces me to have a reasonable sleep schedule.
Man,
Otherwise, I would probably be up to 3 a.m. most
I
nights
wish.
too.
Yo, you wanna sort something out?
Do you want to sleep pact,
Oh.
Duncan?
Like, I go to sleep early, you go to sleep early, sort of thing, sort of deal, and we
Sleep
keep
pact.
each other like in the game.
Sleep
We have a
pact.
pact.
I mean, we can do that, but that's only going to be hard for you.
I know.
Knows, right?
I
Okay,
know,
well, I mean,
but
I
it's
can
what
help.
I want.
We have a stream pact. That's
We
working.
do.
Stream packed.
Stream pact, sleep pact. You go to
Everyone
bed.
hold them to this.
I mean, I'm,
Yeah,
the,
and if
I'm
I-
the one who makes Tali go to bed.
If I start scooting my productivity hours to like right when I wake up instead of like right before I'm about to go to bed, that's gonna help a lot too.
Yo, guys, it's time for one of my favorite times, shill time. And if you want to help hold them to that, join our Discord where you can message and have them see it.
I'm just waiting to go back into break time Discord and see like 25 pings to both me and Duncan just being like, Tali,
Wait,
Duncan,
where's the
go to
mantra?
bed.
Where's the mantra?
The mantra.
Oh, the
like that.
I didn't
mantra!
get it.
Wait, can you send me the image of the mantra so I can...
Yeah,
some
so you can
deep
put it
lore.
on
We're
screen.
so off topic at
Pinned
this
in
point.
plane hoppers.
Who the fuck needs to be on topic, Wesley?
Honestly.
It's pinned in
Look,
original plane hoppers.
I can be here all day. I can be here all day.
I am my own
We've got a lot
topic.
to go through, so hell, let's
you go.
spiral off topic.
Thank you, God.
All we want, goddammit.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on screen and then we can read it, alright?
Eternal spiral.
Yeah, everyone's together
It's
now.
called New Mantra. Oh, my new mantra. The N wasn't capitalized. Shut up. Leave me
No.
alone. Alright. Mantra. Desktop. Mantra. Alright, here it is. Right over our fucking stupid face. I'm gonna put it over here.
Can you put it on the right?
Yeah. That's where I'm
There
putting
it is. Midnight.
Alright, I see
Coming
it
out now.
Everyone,
Midnight air
let's
replaces
read it.
slugs.
Yeah, let's do it all around.
Oh no.
It's okay, wait, do we like in a
What's
cycle?
what's our rotation cycle? Should we just go down like our names? on
Brain
Discord?
coming out now.
I think one person should read it.
I think we should all try to read
We
it.
should
I
all
wanna
try
give
to read it at the
cacophony.
same time.
No.
All at the same time?
Brain
Okay.
coming out now.
Brain coming out now. Midnight air replaces lungs.
Fuck this, I'm
I'm
tired.
tired.
I'm going to bed. I'm going to
I'm
bed.
going to
I'm
bed.
going
I'm
to
going
bed.
to
I'm
bed.
going to bed. I'm going to bed.
Fuck
Fuck this, I'm tired in bed.
In bed. I'm
In
going to
bed.
bed.
I'm going to bed.
Oh,
Oh, fucking
yeah. I'm going to bed. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed.
Oh, fuck
Oh
yeah.
fuck yeah, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, oh fuck yeah, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, yeah, fuck that,
yes, I'm going to
yes,
bed.
I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed,
And
like that,
fuck this, I'm
fuck
tired
this,
from
I'm tired
work.
from work, I'm sick of this shit, I'm sick of this shit, I
I
got no choice, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
dad
my
is
dad's
mad
mad
at me,
at
I'm
me,
sick
I'm
of this
sick
shit.
of this shit,
I
I
need
need
this
this
shit, I got no choice, I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed,
I'm going to bed, I'm go.
Message you at 10
What
o'clock.
the actual fuck?
Bars. Mic drop.
How did this get made again?
This is
AI
Talk to
generator.
AI
Transformer.
generator. This was AI
Yo,
generated.
remember Talk to Transformer? We made this when that was
When
big.
it was when
Yeah.
it was good.
I wasn't here when this was made, so like.
Yeah, it was just you,
It
me,
was
and
during a
Duncan.
plane opera session, I
Ugh.
thought.
No, guys, I don't know
No,
about
it's
you, but
after
now I
playing
feel
Hogwarts.
kind of tired.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of sick of this shit. I'm tired from this work.
Fuck this shit,
you
I'm
know?
tired in bed.
Yeah, my
I
dad
love
is
that
mad at
line
me.
so bad.
Like I'm unironically actually feeling kind of tired.
Occasionally, like,
Tali, you
it's
should
generally
put
me
the-
and Kat, but we just, like, read this shit out.
Tali, you should put the mantra next to vampire.
Okay. Oh, he's reading it.
This is our collection of
reading.
items.
Can you-
I was gonna say.
More
The
items.
holy, the
Are
holy
we
artifacts.
making an inventory window over there or some shit?
These
Yes.
are the things that we own.
Yeah, that's ours.
These
Yeah,
are
these
ours.
are.
Stream loot.
Oh, there it is. It looks like a shopping list, but that's all right.
Yeah, everyone knows what it is. Yeah, I'm glad it was mentally exhausting. It hurt
Yeah.
my fucking brain to hear Duncan saying it at the same time as me. So,
When's the remix coming out?
fuck this shit. I'm tired in bed. I'm going to bed. I'm
Hey,
going
you want a
to bed.
question?
Yeah.
Tali, what's Midge's favorite video game?
What's Midge's favorite video game? Mario Kart Double Dash. She plays GameCube games exclusively. Actually, was
What's
it
the
GameCube games or was
Now-
it N64? It would be just normal Mario Kart, I think. I think it was N64 games.
What's the Star Now equivalent of that in universe?
Racing with
Papa Kart.
Mario. Spaghetti sliders with Papa Pep.
Oh god.
Oh god.
His brand has expanded.
He's like how Nintendo started as a sub shop, but it's the other way around, where he started as a video game company.
I'm sorry. Hold the fuck up. Nintendo started as what? A sub shop?
Yeah.
I know that one of the first things that they did, because they've been around since like the 1800s or something, they started off making playing cards.
That I
At
knew
least that's
about.
one of
I
the
knew about
things.
that
Yeah.
one.
And you got the domino set up at the beginning. It's the playing cards, and then the big domino at the end. It's Waddle Dee's
Rob.
fried balls.
Oh, no! Waddle Dee's fried balls. But yeah, they did sandwiches, from what I'm aware of.
Huh.
Do we have any other questions, Kat?
I have so many questions.
Let's go.
Such questions, much wow.
Ooh, should we talk about? Oh, there's so many. Give me a topic. Oh, here's a good question for all of us. How do we
That's
create
us.
stands? It's generally
Ooh.
it's like, what's our process? There's like 4 questions about this.
You wanna all go around and talk about kind of like our separate
go
approaches, I
around.
guess.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Around and around and around and
Adam,
around.
you start.
You start.
Okay, so I usually just like to pick a song I think is kind of cool, that I kind of find interesting at the time, that I'm currently listening to, with one exception. Okay, with one exception. Tempest Stand. The Miser Brothers. Literally, his concept was just loud and boisterous, and I thought the loudest boisterous song I knew. But all the other stuff I find cool that I'm listening at the time.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I almost denied that song because it was so dumb. But
I fought you.
yeah, and then I eventually was just like, you know what? Alright, fine. It didn't take much convincing,
Really?
but
It took enough to scare me for a moment that you weren't gonna let Best Boy into the game.
Duncan, you're below Adam in this case. So
Okay, sure. I guess I have 2 different methods, because when I'm creating stands for my player characters, it's a lot different from when I'm creating stands, like say I'm like co-GMing something with Westley or Tali. When it comes to my characters, I just tend to go for whatever I like listening to at the time. One of the things that I like most about doing our JoJo games is that it's just a really solid opportunity to just share music that I like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Not
I
only
feel that.
with you guys, but with like everyone who chooses to watch as well.
Chat again.
Which that's why I usually like pick the songs that are more like personal for my personal characters. When I'm choosing other stand songs for other like contexts, I generally just kind of like search. I go through like the deep recesses of my brain. Is like, what fits this character the best? So you see a lot more of that, just more wacky song choice coming through in strings whenever I co-GM.
or
Go watch
Lucky.
strings. Or Lucky. Lucky wasn't my choice.
Yeah,
Lucky
my
was
suggestion.
fun. I like
We should
Lucky.
talk about Lucky, but we should finish this question first.
Wicked.
Yes.
How do you
Which
create
is-
stands? Which
you're
one?
muted, Richard.
I know.
Cool.
Chaos.
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 As someone who Richard pitches stands to constantly, that is correct.
Literally just chaos. Like, I'll just be like, that's neat.
Yeah,
That'd be a
I
neat
think
ability.
Richard's concept of and way of doing it is throwing everything at the wall, and then eventually one will stick, and whatever sticks will be awesome.
Can I add on to something here? Can I add on to something that I said earlier? Because I think I was talking, when I came to the question, I was talking mostly about choosing songs for the stand. When it comes to actually designing the stand, that process is way different. When it's just for random NPCs that I'm helping work on, basically, I design whatever design I think fits best for like the scenario, or whatever design fits worse for the scenario if I want to create something goofy and chaotic.
Yeah.
So there you go. When it comes to my player character stand designs, it's literally make a billion sketches, just go with whatever I like the most.
Fucking. Also, what's funny is the song doesn't have to have anything to do with what comes up with like the ability for me. Sometimes it just is a happy accident. Isn't that right, Wesley?
Yep.
Can I point out also with your characters, Richard, that I really love how you're able to come up with such diverse abilities.
Yeah,
Like, you're great at making a concept and really taking it to its fullest potential.
Your abilities and concepts are fucking A+, Richard, but the fact that you don't tie them into the song at all is a cardinal sin to me.
True.
That's half the fucking fun.
I-
And tying an
The
ability to
console
the song.
agrees on that. The console agrees.
I will say, when I was trying to work on that JoJo game, all of those stands that I was trying to make, I was like, oh god, I have to actually make it fit with the song and have a reference and gotta work. Fuck it, and I
and
literally did
figure out
chaos
lyrics.
times 2.
Figure out lyrics for the villainous actions. Oh dear.
Personally, another thing that I'm okay with is if the song fits the character a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a thing, definitely.
Yeah, like if the ability if someone just looks at the ability and then looks at the song and is like, I mean, that doesn't really make sense, but then they look at the character and the character fits, then I'm pretty okay with that. Also, hi Dev.
Am I allowed to pop in
Dev.
and give my 2 cents on this?
Howie time.
Hello. I want to say this just to piss off most people in this call right now. When I'm choosing stand songs, I normally don't consider lyrics at all.
We
You know what? That's perfectly fine.
Because half my songs don't have lyrics!
That's perfectly fine. I understand that a good ability can totally just come off of like a feeling that you get from a song.
Exactly. Most of my abilities...
The title.
That too. That's the easy one. But generally, when I'm choosing songs for stands, it is based on the feel I get from listening to something. So if a song really gets my heart racing or it gets my emotions flowing, I choose the song and then I figure out the ability later because I'm just like, oh, this song is amazing. I love this song. I want to share this song with people. And it's a little bit of like what Duncan said, where I just love sharing my music with everyone, and JoJo's is a perfect excuse to share some really weird shit, so I try and push myself outside of my comfort zones, like choosing songs that I probably might not listen to normally, but I start to fall in love with them because they, like, fit a character better. Like,
I relate to that.
What song? Men
That's
at Work,
relatable.
actually. I don't like Men at Work, but listening to Overkill over and over again for the heavy moments just completely sold me on them so much more.
That's funny because I think as far as strings go, I know that we're not doing strings Q&A right now, of course, but I just have to put this out there that I think out of our player character stand songs, I think the one that you chose for Men at Work is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Overkill, I think it fits her so well, but it was not a song I ever would have listened to outside of it.
Honestly, fair.
I think that's pretty cool that you did that for your player character.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I think my process for PCs is ironically less personal than my process for NPCs.
Oh god, I didn't even like elaborate on the fucking PC thing I do.
Go for it.
Axe stands.
Oh god, yeah, when I make an axe stand, I come up with like...
Richard is in love with axe stands.
I like axe stands. They're just fun. I like it. Evolving stands, that's just cool. I also fucking love how, like, multiple times I will come up with, like, 3 roots for a character, be like, oh, this is the best one, this is the medium one, and this is the one when I go absolutely fucking bonkers evil. Fun
I do
fact.
like that Richard does that.
Here's my medium ending, and here's my I'm the fucking bad guy.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm depressed.
since we're talking about Star Wars now, what ending did Sebastian get?
I would say he got the neutral.
I was about to say, wasn't he neutral?
Yeah, he was the neutral end. He almost got the bad one, which ironically was the one when he would become a vampire. Because I had convinced Tali that part of the Act 3 thing would let me convert my hormone into vampirism levels. And I was like, ooh, if this happens, I want to run a fucking
We,
game where Sebastian's the bad guy.
We talked about an Act 3 alternative, which was essentially mimicking traditional vampirism powers, like allowing flight, like super strength, and all that shit. And I remember that was like an option that almost happened.
Yeah, because like, so what I writ that out was it was like one of its like, because we called it essentially a side effect of the stand ability, was that it let him do all these like vampire things. So we even like wrote in like, oh yeah, he gets like this aversion to certain things too, like running water and garlic. Cause but it was the current Act 3 is external blood manipulation. Like he can perfectly control blood outside the body. The evil one was he can control it while it's inside the body. So like he can make your blood turn into bloody fucking like wires and just cause it to where yeah, effectively bloodbend. And one of the things I told Tali was yeah, what if I did that on Edwin and I made it to where like as his blood is flowing, because he has to do that for his like abilities, I just make it to where the blood turns into like bloody fucking barbed wires, and as he moves the blood it just completely eviscerates his insides. And it was just like, that's fucking bullshit and evil, Richard.
I think what I said was along the lines of, God, that's busted, but also I want to see it.
And then the good ending was just, that's neither here nor there. No one will ever know.
Did you
Richard,
have?
did you forget? Did you forget?
I don't
You can
remember
tell
him
us.
telling me good ending.
I've also
I
never
never-
heard good ending.
I'll be honest, I actually, never wrote a good ending for Sebastian because I could never see him getting it. Because
Fair
of how,
enough.
like, far we were at the time,
Yeah.
I saw no logical way for him to get that.
Arc
So
3
it's just
is
like, yeah.
Arc 3 especially solidified the, like, morally gray elements of the Starwood Now party, which I fucking love. Because they're not the best people, and that makes me so happy in
No.
a party.
Yeah.
Like, seeing them just do fucked up things makes me so happy as a GM, because it's something that I know none of my players want to do all the time, but it's fun.
What's hilarious is
You don't
the
know
fact
me.
That
Okay, fair enough.
I have him as like this agent of chaos, yet I still make too many friends. Also, I guess technically, if we wanna be technical, Wesley, he did eventually get a good end. Stand
We'll talk-
power. Yeah, we'll talk about that
we'll-
later.
We'll
That's-
talk about that
that's
later,
later.
yeah. Hey, Wesley, this is a good
Hi.
segue, though. You should talk about your character design process.
Oh boy. Alright. This is something that, it's kind of difficult for me to narrow in on a lot of the times, but I think the best way to determine my character designing is the phrase, wouldn't it be funny if...
That is so accurate.
Yeah, like, for example, and I'm gonna say this in a very non-spoiler way, what if the Strings Arc 1 villain, what if I took a super happy song and then traumatized people?
Go fuck the sky.
Or like how Mercury started as, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I just did a counter to Richard's character?
Solomon in Plane Hopper says, wouldn't it be funny if I was a puppet that was, like, alive and puppeting
Yeah,
puppets?
in Plane Hoppers, it was just, wouldn't it be funny if I was a puppet that used puppets
God.
and I pretended to be puppeted while using my puppets?
God, but that
In
is
Shadows,
such,
it's just like, would it be funny if I was just a normal everyday person?
that is
Yeah.
such a powerful like leading statement for a design concept, though.
Honestly.
Mists. Wouldn't it be funny if I?
Wouldn't it be funny if I played an asshole?
Wouldn't it be funny if I played my character 90% behind the scenes, Wesley?
So
Where's the lie?
Celsius actually does have a wouldn't it be funny if, but I can't say it yet.
Yeah, I feel like I know. I feel like we talked about it, but I don't remember.
I don't think you know. I think
You
this
don't?
is the one.
Is it a
This
different one?
is something that I kept completely private from everyone except Katie and my brother-in-law.
Because I know there's a class thing that you're eventually doing, which I really am excited for. I can message you.
And making abilities is oftentimes a very similar way. Here, I'm gonna look at that. Oh yeah, that's part of it, but that's not the main thing I'm thinking of.
Okay, alright, then I don't know and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Making abilities is like... A lot of the times, I just... Alright, this is... Whoa.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan.
Yo.
Thank you.
What came first, the stand-in? No.
Renegade didn't have an ability.
Depends
Yeah.
on the character, because generally speaking, it's the song first. However, I have a counterexample of this. Babe alert! I forgot about that.
Babe.
We're Not Alone came from me wanting to do voice lines saying We Are Not Alone, and then I looked up a song named We Are Not Alone and found a song that fit.
Wow.
Anyway, small little
It
tidbit.
worked out.
Don't want to interrupt too much though.
For like, I'll use this as another stand-making example. With Mercury, I chose Don't Stop Me Now because it was at the time, it was the only classic rock song that I knew by name. Literally the only one.
Yep.
The only one that, well, okay, I knew many by name, but I couldn't tell you what the song actually sounded like. Don't Stop Me Now was the only one, because my friends played it a lot. My music taste has since gone... expanded, mainly for the same reason that Tali said, of, like, not liking a song at first, and then it fits a character so well that it's, like, associated with the character, so it's a lot more fun to listen to.
Yeah, depending on what you're also doing with, like, GMing, depending on what you're doing, you want to add a lot of variance to the to your characters and NPCs and what their stance songs are.
Yeah.
So, of course, that would naturally, like, wind up having you kind of, like, branch out more.
Somebody
explore more things.
Somebody remind me. Just to spite Tali one of these days, to play a character with a rap song or some sort of death metal song.
Why is that spiting me?
I thought if I remember correctly, you dislike rap or like death metal.
Side eyes towards learned mortality. Yeah, I hate rap.
Oh my god, she's like
You didn't say anything about death metal.
I don't mind death metal unless it's like really bad screamo. Unfitting screamo bothers me.
Dude, there's only one genre of music I really listen to. It's music I like. It's a very
Damn,
wide.
dude.
Damn,
It's a
based,
widely encompassing. It's a widely encompassing genre.
based answer.
Can I point out what Blue just said? Westquick chocolate milk powder?
Fucking, I wasn't gonna point that out because it was fucking yucky. It was gross.
Richard stand mega death.
But Don't Stop Me Now got its ability because of all the Don't Stop Me Now lines that are like flying through the sky and all that. And I was like, hey, what if gravity powers? That could be pretty cool.
Isn't that how you got the idea for the hands too?
Yes. Pretty sure. Maybe? Was that a Tali choice?
I think that was a Tali choice. Tali just
The
didn't put the hands being separate.
Oh,
Yeah.
the design of the art. Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
a me choice.
Oh no, I was talking about the thing where you can put the gloves on.
Hot Hands was
Oh,
Westley.
yeah.
That was Westley.
That was a fun idea I had. Because I wanted to punch a stand.
Wasn't it Night Porter?
Yeah.
Because Night Porter pissed Mercury the fuck off, and Mercury was just done with this
Understandably.
shit.
Yeah. Mercury has you can kind of notice this watching. Mercury has a very short fuse.
It's amazing when it triggers. My favorite Mercury short fuse moment, easily episode 7 with the broken glass. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
That even like frustrated. That was. Ugh. I have feelings about episode 7, mostly because I just got stuck under a rug.
Which one was episode
Snake
7 again?
pulls you under a rug. Yeah,
Clowns.
clowns.
Ah, clown.
It's funny because probably my favorite like Mercury moment is a recent one, also involving clowns. It was during the beach party episode.
Yeah.
Wesley just being the most intimidating motherfucker ever. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Please go watch our Summer in Summer in the
Summer
Sun?
in the Sun is a
Ironically,
fun
Summer
first
in the
time.
Fun.
You should probably watch Strings.
Probably watch
Ironically,
Strings first, yeah.
While you're at it, you should watch our entire catalog of videos.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you should. You
Let
should
Richard
watch
speak.
them in the correct order. We have a playlist.
Let Richard speak.
No, I was just gonna say, ironically, Summer in the Sun is like on the little like thing on the bottom right for me underneath chat. I'm just like, that's funny that they say
It's
that.
there. It knows.
Being recommended.
Yeah, and then also I've got a fucking Mario Maker thing underneath, and I'm just like, Mario.
Hey,
Hello, Mario.
hey,
Hello, Mario.
hey, Kat.
Hey, Kathy.
Describe your character design process.
Oh god, this is gonna be really hard because I only get Renegade as an example.
I mean, we've all been using other examples. I used Heavy.
Okay, I can use Toby. My process, which doesn't apply to Renegade, because I didn't come up with Renegade's stand song. Tali did.
Yep.
Tali named Kung Fu Fighting. My process typically is whatever the fuck I'm hyperfixated to. Literally, all of my stand ideas that have actual stand powers and characters are all based off of spur of the moment, like instantaneous inspiration. There's no process. It's
Powerful.
That's
Powerful.
a good
There.
way to describe it. I think that's fun, though.
there.
'Cause it's always going to be different.
Though with Renegade, there was kind of a process because Renegade was the first character, and Renegade, her name I did pick out myself. And I was like, okay, JoJo's based on classic rock. I want to pick a classic rock song. And Renegade was something my fucking bot!
Got it.
Thanks, Richard.
God damn. Richard is always a little quick.
No,
runner.
Richard's on the ball.
Again,
I
no!
got it. What the fuck is happening? I did not do that last one. Why did it do it twice?
I'm
I
just
did
not going
not
to
do
touch
it. I
anything.
didn't do
Fix it,
it.
Duncan.
I didn't
Okay,
think
yeah, I'm doing it.
Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. Renegade, I picked Renegade like as the song, mostly because my dad played it a lot when I was a kid, and it's like Westley, one of the only classic rock songs that I could think of by name and know what the song sounded like.
I'm the weirdo that knew a lot of classic rock and decided
Like
to
I
base it off of
see,
all of it.
my problem is I can't think of names and attach them to songs.
I didn't listen to music in English before Star Road.
It actually was
I-
like a huge like push to get me outside of my like classic rock zone, and I really wanted to start sharing more weird shit after Star Road now.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, I like everything except for country music. Country music can die in a fire.
That's rude to good country.
Yo, I'm gonna
That's
get
rude
you
to
to
Dolly
listen to.
Parton.
I'm gonna get you to listen to some
Tom
Ween
Waits.
later.
Get
Okay.
some Ween. Yeah.
Ween.
I feel like
There
Tom
are
Waits
two-
counts.
There are only two country songs or songs in the style of country that I can think of by name, and they are both songs mocking country music.
Does American Pie count as country?
American Pie.
I feel like it's close. It's very close.
It's close, but I think it's different enough.
Yeah.
It's more classic rock than it is country.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, we didn't finish, Adam, Duncan, and myself, of if names or abilities came first.
Oh yeah.
No.
True. It's interesting question. I don't remember. Just to be honest, I don't remember.
I know that with many of the ones that you've pitched to me, especially as players, the ability comes first.
I came up with the song first for at least for Toby in Strings.
God, Kat, weren't you the one who suggested the song for Decay for me?
Yes, I was.
I think for Croc Rock, it makes most sense that if I came up with the song that I wanted to use first.
That's one of those ones that's like, Some stands you can like, if you put a different name on it, it works. Crocodile Rock only works because it's Crocodile Rock.
Yeah, so
Duncan-
I feel that's probably the avenue I took.
No, definitely. You joked about the idea of small crocodiles because I was talking to you about carbon interface while I think we were watching JoJo or we were talking about JoJo for some reason. It was before Star Road Now was a concept. I remember that because I was like, what would you do if we played a JoJo game and you came up with the crocodiles, like the 17 electric crocodiles, like a little band. And that's when I was like, you know what? Maybe this will work. Let's try it.
I remember being told the crocodile thing as a joke, and then when Bagolji brought out the crocodiles, I was like, oh, he's using it.
Yeah.
God, for me, I think if I remember correctly, Star Road, Sebastian was song first, and the only reason I got the song was because Tali was like, oh yeah, use an old song. And I was like, oh, use an old song? Use an old song? Goes and finds the oldest fucking song he can find.
So Dracula. Oh.
For things like
Such a gem.
Strings, I think Strings ability came first, then the song, or they were at the same time maybe? I can't remember.
I think
Here.
ability was first. I'm pretty sure, mostly because I think I helped you pick out a song again.
I think you did, because, like, I was like, oh, I want to make something that's very similar to the fucking Phantom Thief trope, and my inspiration's, like, Kaito Kid, Persona,
I think
and
that
this
that-
other stuff.
I think that if you're just like looking for a song for inspiration, but you have like that idea of what you want, I feel like that classifies as it's come up with at the same time.
Okay. And then for fucking Decay, yeah, that one was song first, if I remember correctly.
No, that was ability first.
Was it? Because I went through, like, so many abilities on that. Oh my god.
You had an ability, and I suggested the song, and then you changed the ability like 7 times.
Yeah, I was like, this is good. And then I had, like, this solidified, like, ability idea. And then you were like,
Oh, I just
Richard, go more busted. I was like, are you sure, Kat? Yeah, go busted. Okay!
Well, Richard, I'm pretty sure I've found it because I went back in our chats and
Oh my
I looked it up. The first message that was ever sent in our chat that says "Smooth Criminal." I went back to it, and it is a conversation of you saying like some details about the ability that would only be apparent once it was like pretty thought out, and then the first message is me saying, oh, do you still want to go with Smooth Criminal? And then you saying, I don't know what song fits this, so maybe. So,
I also,
evidence, conclusive.
Yeah. I also love how with, whenever I was trying to, like, get more into act stands, I was trying to figure out, do I want just one song, or do I want a song that has, like, multiple, air quote, acts to it? Or do I just
love
want
act
to pick an
stands like that.
album?
The ones
I
that
think
like
that's the most proper way to do an act stand, in my opinion.
Album?
albums are cool. I can't say this example, but my favorite act stands are definitely the ones that have different songs for each act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have never done that.
You should.
It's very fun.
Actually, you've proposed a few before that do.
Have. But then I always go like, yeah, but I don't know.
Richard, you remind me also that my character for Decay was one of the rare ability first characters where I had the really solid ability but no clue what to name it, and I went through like 20 different names.
We can drop Decay character names like we do with Strings. I just wanted to say that.
I think
Yeah, no.
if it shows up in episode 1, it's fair game. That's my
Yeah, no.
that's my mindset.
I was just talking.
I know, but Richard is also like dodging the names. If you can just say the names, or if they show up in episode 1.
The
Yeah,
few
the
options
names?
were-
What names?
Okay, there was Hades in the Dead of Winter was going to be one of the names. There was Red Cardinal, I think. Black Hill was another one, and I wanted to also do like... It was some shoegaze song, I can't remember the name. But I had a lot of options.
I'm sure I could like look in our chat and find it.
Are you
I have
saying
a
that you had a
Google
lot
Doc
of
with all the
shoes to
ideas.
pick from, Tali?
Sure, Richard.
I heard shoegaze, and I was just like, oh, hey, good joke.
You joke. Yeah.
Uh,
I wonder if I can find that
God.
list.
I love Giuseppe. He's great. Will I ever?
Do we wanna Duncan, Adam? Which do you guys do first? I don't know if Adam answered.
Do first in regards to
Songs for
ability.
stands. Do you do the ability first or the name of the song?
I usually find a song, and then I just let my imagination go wild, and it takes me a little bit, but I usually base the ability of it over the scene that the song plays in my head. It's like, okay, here's a situation. This song's blaring. What the fuck am I doing? And that's basically how. And also the fact usually relates back to the song either by lyric or by name of the song. Yeah.
Very fair.
I can go both ways. It's kind of like how I can go both ways when it comes to like stand design. It varies between like what work I'm doing, whether it's for a player character or for something else. Because again, when I'm sourcing songs for my player characters, I pull a lot of that from the music that I already know I like. So in a lot of cases there, the song comes first. But in other cases, it's just kind of up in the air as to what order it is.
Nice. Sorry, I just saw 69 on the screen.
Sadly, I deleted. Oh yeah. Sadly, I think I deleted the original send document, so I can't find that.
Damn.
All I have
Also,
are the
Richard,
villainous
you're welcome.
sections.
What? Ow, the fucking.
I'm the one who made sure that said 69.
Here, do we want to do another question?
Do we
Yeah.
want another question? Oh,
I need to run to the bathroom real quick.
Do
So
we want
I
another
wanna just, like,
question?
ask a question that's not me related, because I'll be right back.
Oh, we can talk. There's one about how all of us as players feel about our characters changing over the campaign and like character arcs. How do we feel about our character arcs?
My character arc.
My character arc.
I could have done better.
Me too. Star Road now is still in the era where like I had a lot of things to learn about playing characters and just sort of character concepts and writing from a standpoint. Bugolji, if I were to go back and rewrite, I would do a lot more with and have him be a lot more of a dynamic character than because he was kind of static. throughout Star
Yeah,
Road
but
now.
Golgi's pretty static.
Yeah.
I think if I could do Mercury different, I think detail-wise, I wouldn't change anything about Mercury, but I think I would hammer home more the idea that he doesn't like being a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's there if you look for it, but I feel like after episode 4, when the whole betrayal thing is solved, I feel like that's something that I could have... After that point, he's, like, kind of static until he dies.
Mm.
Bum bum ba-dum.
What about Renegade, Cat?
I would do Renegade so differently.
Would you still let her have an act stand?
Yes. Here's the thing. There's actually a couple of questions about Renegade and her backstory and stuff because she didn't have a backstory. She didn't have a backstory in Star Road Now. Like at all. And pretty much all of her like important character backstory came afterwards.
I thought she had like some that was like the
She had-
bare minimum.
She had a shit dad, her brother was an asshole, and her mom was kind of absent. And that's about it. And then she met she met Sebastian, Renegade met Renegade in high school, and they became really close friends. And they all moved out together, and Renegade, ran away from home and emancipated herself at like age 16 to get away from her dad. And that's still all true.
Yeah.
It's just now she has such a deeper backstory. Also, I think the biggest regret in Star Wars Now for Renegade is acting up in episode 7.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, I would have. I think episode 8 would have been such a better act up point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Either in the Rachel fight or on the bridge.
God, in the Rachel fight would have been so amazing.
Imagine if the bridge incident also had the added element of Renegade acting up.
I'm gonna actually put a counterpoint here. I think that would have cheapened it a little bit because it would have felt like it was planned to be a Renegade moment. The fact that Kat took it and made it a Renegade moment by their own ingenuity makes it better, in my opinion.
That's
Yeah.
one
Which
secret
I
action.
still think it would have been better in the Rachel fight because it felt very forced in the Lucky Cosmos.
Rachel fight's probably the best place for it.
Yeah, it
but I'm
would have.
saying like in the episode 8 fight.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
end,
I've
the
been
bridge
convinced, Tali.
The Rachel fight would have been good.
I think the Rachel fight would have been the best place for it, mostly because then I could have had that secret action like would have meant a whole lot more because I had to have been acted up for that.
Mm-hmm. There's some things I'd probably change about Sebastian and like do differently. But I think the biggest thing is, I think I mainly just say that because I'm always like, ah man, I make these characters and they try to do so much for everyone else.
Let Sebastian be selfish.
That's one of those things where it just pokes through in every Richard character somehow.
Truly.
Yeah, I tend to just like
Stop being so nice, damn it.
It's like I come with like some of these really awesome like secret actions that typically only go off if somebody else is in mortal peril.
Richard,
Like,
when's it time for you to play an asshole? I want an asshole Richard character.
Oh my, same?
that's really hard for me to do, but I mean,
You played Argus.
Gotta push
you were
yourself
good
out
with
of your
it.
comfort zone.
I think you could do it.
it's
Gotta
not really like
explore
out of
new
the
horizons.
Be the bitch that you... Listen, Richard, be the bitch you know you can be.
See, that's the thing. I totally know I could do it. Those numbers don't add up. That's 99%.
Rounding.
You right.
I just saw the 66 and 33. I was like, that's 99.
You right, Richard.
My brain's sorry.
I only wanted whole numbers.
I would
Oh yeah,
be
blame
able
me.
to.
Thanks, Kat. Very cool.
I would be able to, but
I wanted whole numbers.
You could round up or round down.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I could do it with justice because a lot of the time I would be like, yes, I'm an asshole. And then fucking with these chuckle fucks, if I'm a player character, I'd just be like, these have very good arguments. I can't really be an asshole around good arguments.
Holy shit, the way I felt playing yogurt.
Honestly.
We're not here to talk about strings, though.
That's how I feel
Not
playing
yet.
any antagonist with you fuckers, because you guys are always just, especially Richard. Oh my god, man, I love you, but god, you break apart every single argument I put out there for my bad guys, and I always feel like, well, fuck, now I just seem like a dick for continuing with this thought process.
Didn't I also do that to you at one point?
I recall that happening.
Richard's done that to me.
I was gonna say, I remember
Yeah.
getting like, I think, a quick message of, stop having a valid argument! Shut up!
That's not for this Q&A. That's for...
That's for later.
Yeah, that's
The
really
problem
Okay.
is, Richard's one of the smartest people out of our group, and they fucking use that intelligence to much of our aggravation.
I think, Richard,
Yes,
it
I
also...
know you're going to smoke that cigarette 2 more puffs, and twirl this counterclockwise, and make a sarcastic asshole remark.
Secret actions were made for people like Richard.
Man,
not for
I
people
wish
like
you were.
me.
I wish you were lying about that being a secret action that went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's legitimately real.
Yep.
Richard's very good at predicting people. I think the interesting... You never really shut down Edwin, more as you just simply fought back against him very effectively.
Yeah.
Because I think you had, as Sebastian assumed, he was not at the point of reasoning, am I correct?
So, God, at that point in time, as Sebastian was in a sort of like unstable state where if certain people, as like if Grace would have died or say like something happened and Renegade was like, Sebastian, I don't love you anymore. You're fucking, or something just bad. He would have snapped.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. he would have snapped like crazy. And honestly, deep down he thought Edwin could possibly like have some sort of extenuating circumstances like he had, but he was not in a mental state to acknowledge that, and so he was just like, I need this catharsis. I'm sorry, but you're the catharsis I need.
I'm very glad that's the way it went, because I think while Edwin did have reasons behind his actions, he works better as a cartoony, fun villain that you just like beating the shit out of.
Plus, I can still fuck you over later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Richard clause.
Richard finds a way.
You put an NPC in the game that you want to use it as an enemy? Oh no, I'm sorry. I think you mean it's my ally.
I'm sorry, you want this to be a big fucking fight?
Yeah, you're my friend now.
Oh, okay, I'll
used to
fight
it.
them. I'll fight them, yeah. And then I'll find a reason to become friends with them.
I'm sorry, you make this character with expressly a motivation of cannot be reasoned with. A good soup.
Yes!
I was like,
Oh my
I was going for that too, Wesley. I love how we both thought the same thing.
You and I, Wesley, we talked about it ahead of time. We were like, there's no way that Richard's gonna pull this off. It's not gonna happen. We don't have a solution. It's not gonna happen. And then he found it.
And then you found a solution that we were like, fuck.
Anyway.
Given
Fuck,
the
it works.
character, it doesn't make sense for them to not have this.
You know what?
Anyway,
I'm
we're
gonna
talking
state
too
a
much about
challenge.
strengths.
Yeah, we are.
I'm
we
gonna
are.
state a challenge right now to Richard. I'm gonna state a
Oh
challenge.
god.
There's a
Hold out on
character in
live
my
TV.
game that is just absolutely detestable in my current game of Shadows. Richard, I dare you. I triple black dog dare you try to confront them. I
God.
dare you. You will die.
It's possible. I'll just have to kill them and bind their soul to my weapon.
Oh dear God.
That's
And then they'll have to befriend
Stockholm
me.
syndrome.
That's a different type of
It's
friendship.
a valid
Which-
way to do it.
I don't think it's the
Jesus.
traditional. I don't think that's friendship in the traditional sense.
God.
Oh no. What have I done?
Where are we currently, question-wise? What's the current?
There's so many left.
Where were we?
Do you want to ask some?
Where were you?
Let's
Yeah.
do some.
Oh,
Oh
can I
yeah.
ask myself a question?
Yeah. Ask yourself
Let me
a
ask the
question.
question to you, Kat.
No.
Oh.
Damn,
It's
just
basically
shut down.
about it's the reasoning why Renegade was able to become an axe stand mid-game. It's Kung Fu fighting wasn't an axe stand, it was done during play to make Cat have more fun ways to play. What was the deal that I made to make that change? And the deal was I dropped 2 stats for Renegade.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I dropped 2
What did
stats, yeah.
happen?
Her stats were originally ADE. They became AEEBDE. Which allowed me to have an axe stand, and I got
I
2
see.
axe. Two extra axe. And I worked that into like Renegade's backstory and stuff. And it's really, really interesting. You should watch all of our JoJo content because that actually gets explicitly explained later.
Whoa.
Wow!
I was gonna say, and then didn't like we change her stats again because the act rules changed from.
Yes, the act rules changed, so she got those 2 points.
Yeah.
All the act
When
stands got
Bagold,
those
she
2 points
becomes
back.
a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
My
switch
God.
from 1.3 to 1.4 turned Bagolgi from squishy into like the tankiest member of the
It's
Star
so
Road Now crew.
insane.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I can't
but
believe
yeah,
it.
Renegade and Sebastian both got those 2 points that they sacrificed to character creation and or mid-game.
Yeah. Because it required you to like lower 2 of your scores by 1, if I remember correctly. And it was just like, ugh, okay, I guess I'll sacrifice.
Hold on! Nope, we're stopping the stream for a second.
Huh? Wait, what? That's a joke, right? That's a joke, right? You've got to be kidding, because we joked about that on a live stream on my channel, on my Twitch channel, because someone was legitimately convinced that me and Adam were like fighting or
my
something.
God.
They
Was it
thought
Ethan? Was it you? Was that YouTube comment your old account?
Ethan, is there something you'd like to tell us?
The beef between me and Tali. I
There was
don't
no
think
beef.
it was. Yeah, but there's the beef. There
I
was
don't think
never
there's
a
any beef.
thing.
The beef is our hands grasping each other in a firm affirmative handshake. That's the
Doing the
beef.
Fuck that
Yeah,
shit.
you're
It's a
doing-
it's a full on. It's a full on bear
You're
hug.
doing,
Yeah, and
you're
then
doing
you're
the
hitting me with a
Predator. You're
tuna.
doing the Predator movie, like an arm
God.
clasp.
Yeah, as you can see, Adam and I hate each other vehemently, so much so
Oh,
that I'm
so,
gonna
like-
just turn over. Adam, I fucking adore you. You are one of my best friends. God fucking damn it.
You see, everybody, you see this bitch right here. You see this bitch right fuck over here. Okay, this bitch. I love this bitch. This bitch makes me happy. Name is one of the most supportive people I fucking know.
How dare
Yes.
you.
Beefin is the midnight
It's
man.
the midnight man. Yeah, sure.
The reveal.
Beefin', think me
Friendship
beefin'.
hamburgers.
Beefin', think me beefin'.
Think me beefing.
Me beefing.
Oh, you beefing with me, mate?
bruv, you think me beefing with you?
beefin'.
God.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beefin' with Meefin'. Oh,
Or
God.
do we want to listen to Tali talk about how she can't talk about stuff because of part 3 for like 2 minutes?
Tally's mom is in the
Give me a
chat.
question. Yeah, my mom's here.
Yeah, sorry, mom. You would have had to like submitted a question like early before.
You would have had to have
if
paid
you wanted an
attention.
answer.
Here, let me just put her in timeout.
Tali, what inspired Nocturnes?
What inspired
Oh, that's a
Nocturnes?
good question.
Yeah, what give us as much as you can about Nocturnes.
Cool. World's End Girlfriend the artist. The entire atmosphere portrayed by it is of an alternate reality that feels like the world has ended. And I adore that atmosphere, and I really wanted to bring light to this concept and sort of develop it more in the whole thematic sense of dreaming. Obviously, I can't say everything there is to say about Nocturnes because there is a lot, and most of it has gone unsaid so far. However, from what we have seen thus far, they represent things that are the most crucial to someone's psyche. Something really important to someone and pivotal creates a nocturne around that event. So, for example, Cole created the nocturne of the Slow Boat Inn, which is where he spent most of his life and where the most important moments for him happened. His father, his mother, all of that.
And one of
thus-
the most important moments of the entire series. Girl Curie.
I thought you were gonna say Sebastian
Girl
getting stuck in a
Curie.
closet.
Girl Curie. I remember. Oh, God, Mom.
That was
Curie.
Goons!
Mom Curie.
Mom Curie.
Mom Curie. Oh, man.
No, Sebastian getting stuck in a closet was Cole.
He
It technically
wasn't
happened
here
at the
for
Slow Boat Inn.
Yeah, but he wasn't there,
A girl
there
G?
in Cole's episode.
Yeah, but
Dude.
okay, it's just because it was June's Nocturne, it was technically Cole's area.
Okay.
What happens
Oh,
at
that's
Slow
how that
Boat Inn
worked?
stays at Slow
Oh.
Boat Inn.
No, I mean that was the Slow Boat Inn. It was a vision from the Slow Boat Inn. So
Yeah.
I counted as happening there.
Okay, fair
It was
enough.
a different Nocturne, sure, but you know.
That's what I was saying.
Okay. Yeah,
The
let's
greatest bond between Bagolgi and Mercury was the promise to not utter a single word of what happened there.
Oh yeah, and still to this day, no one knows.
See. This is a little lesser known Tali fact. World's End Girlfriend was the artist that I listened to like 24/7 when I was still going to college and wanted to escape from life and fucking hated myself. And thus, a lot of the ideas behind Nocturnes are very rooted in depression. So a lot of those ideas are still around, and I can't wait to talk about them, but I can't. But I can say that part, that there's a lot of depression themes.
Can tell you,
Soon?
I've got a question for you.
Soon.
Soon.
What's the thing? What's the important thing that you have to tell us at the next topic?
And here's where I fucking kill Cat. Goodbye, bitch! Get deleted!
What was the question? I don't.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything.
I got it. Westley, what was the question? You heard it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess we can move on. Wait, who gives us the questions now?
You didn't think that through, did you?
Hey everyone, this is me, Vampire. I'm reading out the questions now. Okay, let's go.
Jesus.
Cat, get back in here!
Don't do it! Go above the
I don't have
system!
access to the sheet, but I am taking requests from the live chat.
Oh, there's Cat.
There's Cat.
I got
Did I in the immediately
mind.
after getting removed, delete Wesley's access to the question?
Damn.
Wow.
That's
So no one could have looked even if they wanted to.
That's
What even
amazing.
was the question, Cat?
Oh no, the
Don't-
question. My
don't
my
worry
question
about
was a
it.
joke at Tali.
No, don't worry about it. There was no question. Moving on. What's the next question?
Again, do it.
What were the hardest episodes to design?
Is that to me? Probably. Of course it's to me.
Yeah, so
Nah.
Adam, what's the hardest Star Road Now episode?
What was the hardest Star Wars Now episode you had to make?
Yeah, because Wesley. Well, technically, me and Wesley. made
Probably
12
episode
together,
12.
Considering it's the only one.
Yeah. Mikey was your ghostwriter.
Episode 5 is one of the hardest ones because that was me trying to figure out how to make GIFs work in Roll20 and snipping maps for the first time in order to figure it out because I had to do the print screen method for that and I hadn't had that yet. Actually, I think I learned the print screen method for episode 9. I don't think I had it yet. So I was doing that with actual snipping tool, putting together segments of Heartbreak Wonderland and then animating them by hand. It was a fucking bitch. And then getting it all to sync up. And then the fact that when we tried to record that episode, the power went out for about 6 hours, and we had to do it at night. And then Adam
Yeah.
couldn't join. And Adam showed up later through the computer because haha funny, that's how I got them back into the series, into the episode. That episode was a mess, but God, I love it so much.
Yeah, it was a big mess.
Jesus.
Remember
It had a
how
lot
that
of problems.
episode also was corrupt? And we had to fucking
Yeah!
redo the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, the audio, or the video got corrupted too! So we
Fucking.
had to re-record it.
Remember
Roll-
how that episode when I immersed my computer, I deleted System 32 on that computer? Because I thought that would
actually
work.
deleted it.
And now for my impression of Roll20 when you try to load one GIF.
Are you just gonna...
Thank you, thank you.
Christ.
Mikey punching System 32.
Oh god.
But yeah, definitely episode 5. If there's one that made me panic the most, it's episode 8.
Which one's episode 8?
Bridge.
Star Road and Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that would have been
'Cause-
the number 7 when you were sick.
No, number 9 was when I was sick, but number 9
Was number nine
wasn't
sick?
hard to set up. Number 9 was just hard to run.
Number 9
Um,
was sick.
Episode 8 was hard because it was the most important episode for actually making the plot work, and also the bridge fight was, I'm gonna be honest, nowhere near what I wanted it to be, and I was worried it was gonna suck. Because my original idea for that was Edwin swapping around the roads of Electro City itself in order to never let them leave the city on the car. Didn't know how to do that in Roll20, thus I just made a quick bridge and was like, fuck it, we're playing this weekend still.
That actually makes me think of something, Tali.
Yeah.
When did you solidify that Edwin couldn't move living people with his stand ability?
When did I solidify that? When I had to find a reasoning for why Edwin couldn't, like, teleport the players everywhere.
Yeah.
So that episode was like the reason.
I think I remember
It was
some-
like episode 11, I think.
Yeah, I remember
Shit.
talking about that, of like, okay, so if he's trying to do this, why can't he just, like, boop one of them away?
I wanted to have a reasonable weakness of Neo Tokyo. Because it could do so many things so well, I wanted it to have something that it couldn't do.
If I remember correctly, we were discussing it because I was helping you with that point, right?
Don't think so. Maybe?
Because I remember... Because here's something that I remember, and if I'm wrong, you can just tell me. But I remember originally, like, there being a just, oh, he just can't move people, but he can move himself. And then I pointed out that he moved a skyscraper with a bunch of vampires, and then it was the dead people thing.
Right. I think... Okay, no, that's how that happened, because I wanted to keep logical consistency, obviously. But I think at the time I forgot about that caveat because the thought of teleporting a whole skyscraper of vampire... I mean, come on, dude. I can't
It's
not do
it's
that.
so much
It's
fun.
such a power play!
Even if it breaks all the rules of your stand,
Right?
just do it once.
Yeah.
At least
Exactly!
you get one.
And
I
I'm
used
not
to
as
check out
much of a
Rocky
stickler
for
about
that.
That's the rule I go for.
I've been considering adding...
You get a couple mulligans.
I've been considering adding a thing to a kind of rule to bizarre fields of you can spend a bizarre field point to like break
do something
consistency in your stand.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, we should do that! That's amazing!
I kind of love that idea.
That's incredible! Yes,
I
please?
think
Like Kakyoin.
yeah, spend a point and then it's like, oh yeah, the stand is currently outside of its range, but that doesn't matter right now.
The stand suddenly gains the ability to,
Or maybe we do it like it's a resolve rush, like an alternate kind of resolve rush.
Maybe.
consistency
I've
rush.
been playing around with the idea for a little bit.
I feel like mechanics in JoJo being based around consistency
Got it.
in general is
Thank
such
you.
a great concept.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's such a funny thing to base a TTRPG system around, and we've already got plus points as a thing, and secret actions. So consistency is already non-existent.
Continuity issue?
I think ironically, my biggest qualm with how we run JoJo is I'm like, it's too consistent.
I don't think that inconsistency for the sake of having inconsistency is good. I can't agree there, but if we do things because they're fun, sure.
Yes.
I just don't think that the reasoning because JoJo is a good enough reasoning to do something.
It's like we can't.
I always value like a good story over because JoJo as like an
Yeah.
example.
I like to intertwine them.
That's fair.
I think you gotta consider why things in JoJo are inconsistent. You really gotta break it down to its essentials if we want to introduce something like that.
Yeah. In my mind, it has to be something small. Like, for example, I think a good break of consistency is like, yeah, I use this one power that I never use again, even though I could.
I feel like that's a frustrating break of continuity. Because as a viewer, you're gonna be like, well, they could have just done this. And I don't like having those, because they can just easily lead to viewer frustration. Because at least I know myself, if I see something like that, I'm gonna be like,
Well,
really?
It doesn't have. It shouldn't be anything like monumentally, like
Yeah.
something that's monumentally game changing.
Yeah, I think Yogurt works, because Yogurt was just for setting. Yogurt
Yeah.
was like the case of like, you know how in a show where it just like suddenly the scene changes and the theme changes out of nowhere, and you're just not ready for it?
Right.
But it just happens to fit the story, and you kind of go with it because it's cool thematically and it visually is nice. That's how that felt to me.
God.
But
What was
Next
this question
question.
originally?
yeah, what was the question? I legitimately forgot.
Did we answer the question or
we
did
answer
Did we answer the question?
I don't remember what the question was.
Frick!
Hang on.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember I asked a question.
Something about Neo Tokyo?
And you're talking about the power of moving people or not.
It's something
No,
about
we're brilliant.
Edwin, and then I asked a question about Neo Tokyo.
We could just move on to the next question. If no
Yeah,
one
let's-
remembers, it probably wasn't
The question
that.
was.
Well, then we're just gonna be sitting here.
Did we all just
It
was
age
Nocturnes.
scramble beyond the point?
Nocturnes.
Oh, yeah, then I
Oh.
definitely answered it. Because
Yeah,
then we
that
just
was-
tangented.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want another question?
Yeah, sure.
Duncan and Tali talk about Lucky and Cosmos and how the fuck
Oh
we got
my
to
God.
having Duncan play Lucky.
Do we talk about the original?
It's not
villains?
hard to convince
Yeah.
me to play a villain character. Let's be real.
It's not.
Mr. Green and well, first and foremost, it was the short, fat bastard guy, tall, skinny, slimy guy.
Yeah, we were
trope.
gonna be doing a Wario and a Waluigi.
Yeah, it was a Wario Waluigi situation. They were both dudes originally, and they were originally going to attack Sebastian and Grace while the other guys were out on vacation. Air quote vacation. But because Richard was gone, that didn't happen. And
Vacation.
yeah, and then we ended up doing a carnival episode because
Clown.
Duncan, do you remember why we changed it to clown?
Why did we change it to clowns?
I don't remember why.
Did we even have an exchange about this in like DMs or anything?
We definitely talked about it. But it was less so because I think we were less like, I was just like, here, what if you play this character? And you design this character. I think we talked about your stand ability and it being noose themed. And I think you're the one that came up with slipping it under anything. I remember that. Do I
Or
remember
yeah,
why?
that I'm able to pull somebody in the news like through any opening. Yeah.
Yeah, and we set up the whole serial killer thing, but I don't remember why they're clowns.
It's because we didn't have these conversations in text. It's because we had calls about these.
Yeah, we just like talked about it, so I don't fucking remember.
From talking with Duncan, I can say from personal experience, it is very easy to lose sight of what an idea originally was.
It's a very chaotic like
I
spur of
have-
the moment shit.
My
I
mom
have an
says
idea.
it might have been because of Invisible Touch colon clowns, the Aether Drift song. You remember that song? That's the Duncan.
Yeah, I know we had that. Clowns is a very recurring theme with you and I.
It really is. We make clowns far too often.
I think that's probably where it came from. Where it was just we were talking about it. It was like clowns.
Yep.
Clowns.
We reached that point where
probably
we
that
just
simple.
said, "All right, clowns," and it was that simple. Yeah,
Clowns is your guys' trope, like mine is men in suit.
Yep.
it's true.
Mine is lesbian.
Richard's is.
But from
what's
there,
your trope?
Dad.
his
Can
trope is
and-
just Richard character.
I can and will try to befriend everything. I don't know.
Anime
Anime.
protagonist.
Anime protagonist.
It's an
There we
anime
go.
protagonist.
Katie, what's your thing? Katie, Tally's is lesbians. Mine is man in suit.
Duncan is clown. No,
No,
Duncan
it's
is
not
food name.
clowns.
Duncan is food name.
Food
It's
name.
not food name either.
Alright.
I don't know what my thing is.
It's secret villain.
My thing is, my characters never really get their time to shine until after their series.
Ooh.
Ow.
I think here's what I'm gonna say. Duncan's thing is. Duncan's thing is batshit ideas, but played completely seriously.
Like I wouldn't even say that's my thing. I wouldn't say that.
Duncan doesn't have much of a thing other than that his things are normally crazy and very like.
I don't think I have a thing either.
On crack.
I
Is her thing
might.
not emo.
Crack.
I wouldn't call Renegade emo.
She's
Parent
got
issues?
that feel.
Is she?
It's the hair.
The hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
You're
Emo
going
and
to
punk
say
go
bad
hand in hand in my
father.
mind.
Renegade strikes me more as punk.
That's what I literally just said was that emo and punk go hand in hand in my mind.
Renegade just strikes me as hot.
Renegade just
Moving
strikes
on.
me. Renegade
Adam,
just
what's your
strikes me.
Renegade strikes.
What was that? Koopa, what was that?
What's your trope? Is it violence?
Jonah's trope?
No, your trope.
Your character,
Characters
like,
you make.
What's your trope with characters
Adam's
you make?
character trope is knowing way too much about military tactics.
I
And
was gonna
guns.
say army man. Yeah.
Yeah, army man. Whether that be medieval army or modern day army, army man.
It thinks back to an old character from an Harass game.
And then another character from a
Congrats.
different game.
Marcus and what is his
Marcus
name?
Okay,
No.
listen.
No, what's
I
his
tried
name? The escape guy. What's his name?
And
Gizmo.
escape guy.
Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Gizmo.
my god.
I haven't thought about Gizmo in a while.
So okay. So your trope is John Marine, super soldier.
That's accurate.
What do you guys think Mikey's trope
How do you
is?
explain Jonah and Tempest then?
Ordinary man.
Jonah and Tempest.
Jonah
They've
doesn't
still
fit.
kind of got that thing going on. Even Tempest with the private military.
Tempest got the military thing going on.
Jonah's just
Yeah.
car-loving playboy.
Not everyone has to fit the trope.
Also, yeah, Mike's totally has got to be ordinary man.
How about Lizzie?
Lizzie's another.
Bitch.
She does have military stuff, though. There is
She
military
does.
stuff.
She definitely
The
does.
flamethrower.
Mikey is a straight man.
You play the straight man.
She's
yeah.
just a pyro. She just likes to burn shit.
I just
Can we
like
summon
fire.
Mikey?
How do we summon Mikey?
Do we have to like? What do we have to do? Do we
Let
have to
me
do
perform
We need to do a
the
seance.
ritual.
We need to do a seance.
We need to do a seance.
Seance.
If
I feel
we
so
wish
called out right now.
hard
Viewers at
enough.
home, we need your power. Come on, come with us.
Give us
Yes,
the
yes,
spirit
viewers,
bomb.
track
Oh.
them.
Well, we lost Richard for the seance.
Well, we had to sacrifice.
sacrifice
his
Yeah,
soul.
we we had to sacrifice him.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's gotta work. Come on.
Oh,
It's gotta-
we resurrected Richard.
You can't kill me. I'm
Damn it, we brought Richard back instead of Mikey. We just killed
Hey,
Richard to bring Richard back.
We
Fuck.
still sacrifice.
Wrong one.
Will Mike appear?
No.
Oh god.
No.
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 I
Let's
guess
totally
not.
let's totally divert from the calling me out and move on.
I still don't know what my thing is, other than my joke.
I feel like you have a thing.
I feel like I have a thing too, but
It's
I don't know how
hard
to
to
put it
narrow
words.
down. It's hard to narrow down. Is
Ah.
the deal.
Troublemaker.
Maybe that's
Troublemaker.
it. Maybe that's the thing.
Troublemaker.
It's indeterminate. It's hard to narrow down, and that is your trope.
Wait. I got an
Going
idea.
off with Topi and Renegade, I gotta say troublemaker or punk or something.
No. I got an idea. I got two ideas.
Goblin
okay?
/ gremlin.
Gremlin.
Nah. So my two thoughts: parent issues.
Fair.
Second idea: gangsters.
Gangsters is actually a pretty good one. I feel
Gangsters
like
is
that
Yeah.
pretty
doesn't a lot.
accurate.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's pretty accurate.
That's really accurate.
I
If I'm
say
just-
looking to my favorite character for recess I've made.
See, the only reason I came
all
up
of
with
your
those
game
two
characters.
thoughts, Kat, is because of all the characters that I can remember that you played as a player character, and then the one that was your air quote main character in Decay, Mallory. And I was just like, don't they all have parent issues? And then all of them have that sort of like gang issue stuff too.
They
And
all-
then I
Yeah.
and then
They
I
all
looked,
are related to crime.
and then I looked at the one
was Mallory
idea that you
With it all.
pitched me for my game whenever I was trying to get one started, and it's just
Yep.
like parent issues and other
Yep.
stuff again. Yeah.
That was one that I thought about too.
Mm-hmm.
And Toby. And then there's just a lot that fall into that.
I mean, I could talk.
It's
I could take
really
this. I could take
ironic.
this trope talk very seriously for myself and kind of say like a lot of my characters kind of incorporate the same story themes. And if I were to narrow down like my trope to like one word, I'd have to put it as individualist.
That's a good way to put it, I think. A lot of your
Yeah.
characters are very opinionated and like to stand on their own.
Yeah.
I think that's a
I
good way
don't
to
know
describe
who
it.
I am.
No.
I feel
Now
like I
I'm
have a better
thinking-
trope than just lesbian, but that's the funny joke answer.
Yeah.
Sad lesbian.
No, I wouldn't even say that, because, like, the character that I more often do than that feels to me like someone that is just depressed in general.
Fair.
You mean
I feel like
tragic
the-
disaster?
Tragic disaster is a great way to put it. I'm talking
Yeah.
Edwin, I'm talking
The fuck
Sen, I'm talking Mord. Heffy
think-
doesn't count. She's out of the
And
ordinary.
to narrow in on mine a bit more, it's not just man in suit. It's man in suit who doesn't get emotions.
This is true.
So autistic man in suit.
So Wesley.
Yep.
Wesley.
Me.
You.
It me.
The Westley
Well,
like
go
to play
figure.
ourselves.
All of our tropes are just very heavily based on who we are as people. Who would have guessed? Anyway.
Who would have guessed?
Which is really ironic because my parents are like perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole
Yeah,
time. Was like, Cat's parents
parents
are
are
great.
Your parents are the most, like, normal parental figure parents that I've seen in a long time.
They're very
Really?
nice.
My parents are normal?
I feel like my
Okay.
parents are more normal.
Normal, like... Not normal. Loving.
My parent is totally normal.
Your parent is not a human being, Adam.
Fuck, am I an anime protagonist?
Oh God. It speaks so much about the person.
Do we want to move on to another question? I love
Yeah.
this one. This is really good. Brawled with their angst levels, who would win? Thank you, Casey.
Did we finish the last question?
Good question.
How dare you say it's Richard? I feel like my angst levels are through the fucking roof.
Your angst levels are pretty high.
Do you ever have a Chunbyo phase?
Oh.
That doesn't.
Oh.
That's pretty angsty.
I think it would be somewhere between Tali and Richard.
I feel like angst is different from depression.
What
so
about
I would
me?
gladly give Richard angst if I have depression.
Oh, that's no contest.
Yeah, okay, then I'm fine with that.
What about me?
What was her last question?
You
You're
just
like-
don't get a fucking break.
Well, yeah, honestly. My heart
Yeah.
goes out.
Our last question, I
That's
believe,
bad
is
for
about
your
Lucky
health.
Cosmos.
Yeah,
I
because
know.
I believe there's still much that we need. There's still some things I want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, sure. What do you
About
want?
our clowns, about our horrible clowns. How fun it was to design just the absolute worst people on Earth.
We're great.
And
morals.
yeah, crazy serial killer clown. It was a lot of fun. Too bad the battle wasn't that interesting though.
I would
Put
like
me
to
under
think
a
But it did end in a major way.
the first
Yeah.
half of the battle suffered from we really should have talked about it more ahead of time, which is probably on me, and also that we weren't really comfortable with the system enough yet.
Yeah,
And then the second half of the
uncomfortable with
battle-
the system. I was inexperienced as a GM at that point.
Personally,
Highly
I
inexperienced.
think you did really good though for like a first experience doing that sort of thing. It was fun. I think
I
the second half of
still
the battle.
fucked up at some parts.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. I fucked up throughout all of Star Road Now, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Star Road Now is very early in my GMing experience too. I think it was really shaky overall. But
I'm
that's
sorry
okay.
about the rug.
Are you?
Yes,
What?
I'm genuinely sorry. I know how it is to be taken out of a fight early and just having nothing to do.
I'm sorry about Night Porter. Fuck.
I got my comeuppance.
See, it wasn't even like the fact that I was under a rug. It was the fact that the dice just wouldn't let me escape.
It's kind of out of our control.
Yeah, but even at that point, if the dice weren't letting you escape, I should have given you a break as somebody
There-
who
there
could
should've-
control that.
There should
Fair
have
enough.
been another way.
I think, in my brain, it should have gotten easier over time, because I was just constantly struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the whole colony thing, it should have definitely been not as much of a struggle.
Yeah. Live and learn.
Yep, live and learn.
Learn.
Wesley's right. Wesley is right.
Can we get another
Activated.
question? I don't have anything special to say other
Is there
than
anything
I
else
really
Duncan,
love
you want to
clowns.
say about Lucky?
I really like the fucking fake out I did with him
Ah,
eating the
yes.
celery sticks.
That was really
So
funny. The fake out
That was my
of
favorite
oh
moment.
he's just a normal guy, and then the fake out of oh no he's a crazy
it's
guy
a
who
double
just is
fake out.
he's just smart enough to know to pretend to be normal.
Oh my god, can I talk about Lucky's death real quick? 'Cause I think that's one of my favorite parts of that session, because I could not contain the laughter when in the middle of the session, Duncan messaged me like, it was like right when it was about to happen, he messaged me like, hey, so what if he flies into the steel beam on the side of the tent and breaks his neck? Like, wouldn't that be funny? Haha, the clown would die. And I just like,
Let me see. That's word for word. Lucky is going to try to fly full speed through the tent and break his fucking neck. Is what I said to Tali.
Yeah. It killed me with laughter, dude. I'm glad you have the messages up because God.
Can we talk about probably the most satisfying death of the entire series is Lucky snapping his own neck?
I'll say that it was very unsatisfying for me. I wanted to break his neck.
Well, maybe in the end, maybe it's a twist up, like it's like a fucked up twist at the end of the movie where you learn that now you're experiencing the satisfaction that he gets from breaking necks. You see?
Ooh, some deep philosophy right there.
It's like it's a little M. Night Shyamalan moment.
That is a big insult to yourself. Shyamalan. Don't talk. We can't talk about that one. That's strings, technically.
What?
No.
No strings. No strings allowed.
Nuisance.
No strings.
Anyway.
New thing?
New thing. Give me a question. Yeah.
Gotta find one. We are getting to the point of where I'm. Oh, Tali. Here's a good one.
Oh.
What was the original ending and way to beat Edwin?
Edwin.
Before Westley came to you with Mercury death.
What was the original way to beat Edwin? There
What
was
was the original
one.
plan for episode 11, at least? I think that's the question.
Oh! It was hunting Edwin down at the Speedwagon Foundation headquarters. I remember this because I intentionally, or not intentionally, I vividly remember the idea of having drones defending the Speedwagon Foundation going off of the lyrics of the Scandroid song that had the same, vibes. And that's what eventually turned into the robot fight in episode 12, was from me and Westley talking about that. Once Mercury was dead, we talked a lot more about the whole what would be a fun finale, and the drones became robots. But episode 11 was going to be very much infiltration with Mercy fight, followed by episode 12 being Edwin fight. However, it turned into a very different encounter when, I'm going to be honest, I think one of my biggest mistakes with all of that was the Requiem arrows. Because I think they fucking suck as a plot point. And I think that it could have been so much more interesting if it was a build-up to fighting Edwin and not a MacGuffin. So I feel like the non-MacGuffin version was much more interesting.
Very fair.
But yeah, that's
How much
kind of
do we want to talk about episode 11?
What do you mean?
Oh, because we also have the question of... I highlighted this one differently because, it's the question of, was the death of Mercury a controversial moment for the crew?
Oh, that's a thing we can talk about.
Yeah, do we want to talk about that? I'm mostly asking for Tali.
I know you're asking for me, and I'm fine if you talk about it.
Okay. Cool. Oh fuck, do I have to start this? Because I'm the one with the opinions.
This is your thing. You're the one with the opinions.
Okay, I don't like Mercury's death.
Me neither. Don't worry, Kat. You're not alone.
I know, Richard. I knew you would.
We're not alone.
Hey.
Claps around the room for We're Not Alone.
Alright,
there he
goes.
goes.
That's it.
He's dead. He's fucking
That's the end of the question. No. I can go in depth.
Should we preface this with the fact that we've talked about this and gotten over it?
Oh, we've talked about this. There is no beef.
There is no beef.
There is no beef.
We've all learned from the scenario. We're just sharing it for the fact that it's interesting.
It is an interesting subject, and it's kind of the entire reason why Tali, I don't know if you realize this, but you're the Mercury death thing is why with my senior capstone, that's what spurred me on to do that topic.
Was Mercury's death?
Yeah, because it just, to me and Richard at the time, I'm not going to speak for Richard now, obviously, it felt like it robbed our autonomy at the time. And that's what spurred me on to, write my senior capstone project on, player autonomy and choice within running a tabletop game.
I feel like the autonomy is a fascinating topic because I think at the time I was not super aware which is really ironic considering my history with game design and all of this. But because Star Road Now was designed to be an episodic series, the concept that player autonomy would be such a big issue wasn't something that was super much of a focus for me at the time, and especially when I was talking to Westley about the Mercury thing, because it was a different experience. It's like for some reason my brain segmented Star Road Now as different, because at the same time as Star Road Now, Planehoppers was being run, which is a completely different style where player autonomy is like never a question.
Yeah.
So the fact that it happened is fascinating in and of itself, and is why I've completely deleted the concept of episodic whatever. Fuck that concept. It makes people upset. Never again.
I think
Yeah.
another thing that might have masked it is the fact that there was some player autonomy in the fact that I chose to...
Right.
Yeah.
You were the one originally that wanted to do the death thing and all that.
It's kind of like the way I look at it is that Westley was brought on as co-GM for that episode specifically.
It's basically what happened, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the issue that I think it wasn't played out in a satisfying way. Rather than letting things take the turn and possibly being turned around, it was railroaded completely into
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I think if we did it again, there should have been a way. Because I think Mercury being convinced that he's going to sacrifice himself, I think that's
I think it's compelling.
I think that's good.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
I-
great.
But I think that there should have been a way out, quote unquote.
Oh yeah, I remember trying to like argue that I could use like, you know, Act 3,
Act 3.
to cut off his head and try to fucking, you know, Dio him, you know, put him on somebody else's body. But I was like shut down on that, and I was so like upset because like you said, Ken, we were like, because we were talking about it.
We were talking that basically the minute like Mercury stepped away and did the thing. Thank you, Tali, for deleting the bots.
Hello. I hate bots.
Basically, as soon as he stepped in front of Renegade and kind of blocked or did the gravity thing where we couldn't move forward easily, Richard and I started plotting of like, what's going to happen? Something bad's going to happen to Mercury. He's going to die. How can we save him? Yada yada yada.
And I was
we
like-
immediately started doing that, and we had idea after idea after idea, and there was no point to it because we just got told no.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made, and we learned from them.
We were trying to run it like a show basically, and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
a lot
like
of
a
things
TV
that we
show.
can still run things like a show. We can just do them in a more player friendly way.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We've learned
It
from the
helps to
experience.
differentiate those two a lot for, I think, like, I don't know, it definitely did for me. I don't know about you, Wesley, but I think that moment was a really good thing to, like, realize,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, this doesn't
Yeah.
work.
In fact,
We can
in fact,
treat it like a
that-
show, but we shouldn't script it like one.
Yeah.
Knowing that kind of energy, that's kind of one of the reasons why I was like, maybe like suggesting having the players having more to do in Edwin's death.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that you did, because at that point, okay, this is just gonna be me layering this out here for everyone to be aware of. No one talked to me about it. I didn't fucking know until after the series was over with that anyone had any issues with that at all. No one told me. So if I was going to learn from it, it did not affect it, and I'm glad that you learned from it, Wesley, because that turned the end of episode 12 into a much better, much more satisfying ending in the long run. It was just a minor like blind spot when I was like, yeah, it's gonna be episodic. Therefore, it's okay if some things are minorly scripted. That's fine. They're small
Yeah,
bits
it
along the story.
Like, it wasn't even, I'm sure for you, it wasn't even a conscious choice, it just kind of happened.
No, it just kind of happened, yeah. It's not like I was like, I'm going to force this to happen. Mwahaha. No.
Yeah.
Say, was there
I'm
like a...
going to kill him, and I'm going to win the GM.
What the fuck?
Didn't you say like forever ago at one point in time that you were contemplating killing Sebastian because Zeppellis always have to die for a JoJo Grudmo?
Did I say that?
I could swear I remember you like saying that either as a joke or as a...
I might have made a joke about it. I definitely
And
was
I feel
contemplating.
Grace at some point.
I was contemplating
Oh.
killing literally every single character as Edwin because it was always in my mind of what happens if I kill them as
Oh.
Edwin. What do I do? So.
Get fucked. That's what happens when you kill Grace.
If I kill Grace, we get Bad and Sebastian.
Which, God, that would have been such a
Yeah.
That would have been. Oh.
But yeah, I think it's that. Okay, this is another thing that I personally really wish had been done differently, and I hadn't felt so forced into it. I felt very forced into making Starwood now 12 episodes long, and in my head it had to be that, and there was no other option. So that's where a lot of these, like, quick decision, finish the story choices were made, was because I knew it was going to end soon, and there was really no other, like, way to do it, thus it got very stuck in, like, alright, let's end this project, let's get on to the next one type deal. Which is why, for future games, there's no set episode length.
Yeah. And then it's partially with string. Tali, this is my note here. Part 3, make it as long as you want.
Hello. It's gonna be long, unfortunately. I don't want it to be long, but it will be long.
Will. I didn't want strings to be long. Look where we
Yeah,
are
no,
now.
we've talked about it. I know.
Yeah.
There are
maybe
two
we should add a
wolves.
few more episodes to
There are
strings.
2 wolves inside of you.
There are
The
two
wolf
wolves
that
inside
wants
of you.
the wolf that loves conciseness and the wolf that wants to play more strings.
Okay. We should totally force Wesley to make more episodes, shouldn't we?
Hey, Wesley.
Wesley, get
Strings
back.
too?
Wesley, get back there. Get back
Guys,
to the
we already have
sweatshop
strings, too.
assembly line, my guy.
Wesley, get back in this. Get back in the session.
Quit
stream.
fucking around with those injured arm braces of yours and get back to the sweatshop, nerd.
If strings is so good, why is there no strings 2? Guys, strings 2 confirmed.
Guys, I think this is something
God.
that legitimately a lot of people watching might not realize, but Star Road Now was not just like a learning experience for me, it was a learning experience for everyone involved. We were very new to doing this whole thing at the time, so a lot of it was collaborative. So like if I'm learning something, Wesley was learning something, or if Richard learned something, Duncan also picked up on it, you know, like that sort of thing.
Especially since I learn the best through watching what someone does and then emulating it and just changing it a little.
You husk.
Yeah.
Husk. You absolute husk. You husk.
I fully, that is how I learned. Guys,
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
learned how to draw by taking art that I like and then tracing over it. That's how I learned how to draw.
I learned by doing, so I learned from my own, like, the only way I can learn how to do things better is by fucking it up once.
Honestly, fair.
I can't, like, do it right the first time. I never do it right the first time.
Yeah, say it.
Wesley's got that classic autism learning mode,
Yeah.
which I'm surprised I don't have more of that.
Anything else you want to say on this question about?
I don't know, that was a great question.
That
was,
yeah.
What
Yeah,
what was it exactly?
It was one of
'Cause
the first questions. It
feel
was,
like there's-
was the death of Mercury a controversial moment for you?
Because if it
It
was asking,
was-
like, were there other controversial moments? I'm trying to remember if there were.
Night Porter?
Night
I think
Porter
Night Porter counts.
isn't
I think
interesting
Night-
to talk about, because it was...
It's, yeah. We've
Night
pretty
Porter
much
was
said all
just
that
a
needs to be
lot,
said
yeah.
about it.
A lot of things happened like that.
A lot of
went
things just
into it.
happened accidentally and weren't
Yeah.
properly foreshadowed because I was sick, thus the threat level wasn't properly assessed, and yada yada yada. Night Porter is an example. Don't run a session when you're sick. End of story.
Yes.
It's so many
Nah,
things that happened during
totally
Star
do
Road
it.
that, like, that I feel like were issues with the series, or anyone else feels like were issues with the series, have been sorted out so fucking long ago. Now we've all, like, learned and moved on from. It's kind of
hard to remember.
Remember
Yeah,
any of that
exactly.
without
It,
seeming
like,
like, okay,
comes
that'd be redundant to bring up again.
Yeah.
The one that...
But just like the storytelling approach from Star Road compared to how it's going now, it's like, yeah, so much has changed. There's been so much growth.
We're figuring out our
It's
stride.
been like 3 years.
It's insane how long it's been.
We're going. Star Road Now ending is coming up on its 3rd anniversary.
When I started
Yeah,
doing
I remember
art for
some-
Star Road Now, I didn't consider myself an artist. I just
I
thought
remember.
I should do this because no one else is going to have the ideas, so I might as well. But God, my
Good
art
choice.
sucks. And now we're here!
Yeah, I remember at the start of the stream, I remember I saw someone say, like, man, Star Road Now ended so long ago, why is it getting love now?
Yeah.
We've been wanting to do Q&As for a while.
Yeah, this is the catalyst, and we're not gonna do a Q&A for, like, Decay before Star Road Now over my fucking dead body, Jesus Christ.
I'm also going to agree
Let me
with
get the
that.
gun.
Sequential. Don't kill Weddle.
Not too bad. He's
No,
dead.
Richard.
Going forward,
I got before.
going forward, I feel like we're gonna try and have these, like, sooner after the series ends.
Oh,
Westley, I know.
Decay soon.
I know, especially with you and strings, you and I with strings, in fact, that there's a lot that we want to talk about once it's over.
Oh, yeah.
I think
wanna
doing
talk-
like,
When
Yes,
Aura
indeed.
eventually ends, I have a metric shit ton of stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That'll be hilarious. That'll be
oh yeah, more
If
Q&As,
if
yes.
Star Road is a lesson in how to give your players more control, Aura is a lesson in how to maybe give your players less control.
yeah.
More
There's a happy
Q&As.
middle ground, and
I fucking love talking about this sort of
But-
subject.
But what
not
if
to
I
say
had-
that either approach has turned out a, like,
Oh yeah, no,
bad
Aura's
product.
amazing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think there's
But,
just
for sanity's sake.
my sanity got a little bit damaged from Aura. That's all.
What if I
It's so
could
good.
break the world, Tali. What
Huh?
if I could break the world?
You can and have and would and do and will in
Will.
part 3. I know you will. I know your character. I know what's happening.
Tali, it's your fault if you get attached to any of your characters or concepts.
I know. I'm
When
actually
it's
trying to get a lot
us
better at
involved.
that because I really want to be like super attached to things changing, and Aura was like an experiment in what if I just let the players do whatever the fuck they want and I never tell them no, and God, I love how it went.
One thing I know about DMing for these chuckle fucks, so you can have your plans, okay? You come up with your plans.
Uh-huh.
You take those plans, you gather them up in one place, right? You walk over to the fucking trash can and chuck them in because they're not going to fucking happen.
Utowaru.
Or they won't happen for at least another 2 episodes.
Or here's what I
Years.
here's what I like to do. What you do is any plan that it's like, oh, I have to throw this away now. Take it, cut it all apart, and then like a serial killer's ransom note, put it back together.
Oh,
I'm
see.
still reusing old ideas from Star Road Now. Case in
It's
point,
true.
beach episode
Deer
and
outside the window. Hi, dear.
a certain act stand. I'm not going to spoil it, but some things happened.
telling me to get rid of an idea.
You've
I'll
got a
just keep
fault.
pushing.
I know you.
No, Richard, that idea is stupid. Are you sure about that? Are you really sure? Then let me do it.
That's another
Let me do
thing.
it.
The stupider something is, the stupider a plan is, the more likely these chuckle fucks are going to go with that.
I'm a very
Very true.
big advocator of like bringing things back, or like if there's work done, find somewhere else to put it. Example of like,
You know?
yeah,
The
casino.
casino, because that was originally that's for strings. We got to talk about that during the strings.
Yeah.
Ah.
To say a very small amount, there's a casino in strings that Richard helped with because Richard made a casino in Plane Hoppers that didn't really get much use.
Yeah, because
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
that was a
So-
case of player
It's
choice
reuse
dodged
of
the
a
whole
reused
casino.
Yeah.
And like it's reuse of reused material from something that was never used.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yep.
God, we're like an environmentalist program for tabletops.
Yo.
Christ.
Do we-
What's the next question?
Yeah, I am gonna say,
Yeah, what's next?
brain work. I was going to say we should probably wrap it up in like 30 minutes or so. So a couple more
Yeah.
questions.
Can we do some quick ones?
Yeah, absolutely. Tali, what Mercedes Arc 3 outfit, the Harlequin design bodysuit thing, what was the inspiration?
I wanted her to be fucking insane originally. That's what the inspiration was. I wanted her to fucking lose it in my original script, and she was gonna be using the stand of Jonah's dead mother. Yeah, that was a plot. It was gonna be fucked.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, I was gonna be using Joan Crawford to resurrect your mother and make you fight your mom as Mercedes. Then I realized, how do I ever bring her back and redeem her after that? Oh, I don't. Let's change that.
That's honestly fair.
So rip Joan Crawford.
That's fair, but that's a fight I'd want anyway, because it would be so fun.
It was the original episode 10 fight.
In retrospect, what if instead of Night Porter, it was using Joan Crawford?
That would have been cool. I, at that point, hadn't thrown out the Joan Crawford idea, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, I must say, there's one way to redeem her at that.
Kill her?
Dad made me do it.
Daddy dearest.
That's very fair.
Hey, go
And-
torment my son with his mom who's dead but also a zombie. Huh, fuck you.
But also, doing that, kicking her ass, she doesn't die, and she comes back later to do the whole time reset. That still could have been
It
a
was-
good.
Yeah, it was gonna be a chase around the whole city was my original plan of hunting her down to figure out where Edwin was. I still like the way it went, but it was a little bit less interesting.
Episode 10 is my favorite episode, fun fact.
Yeah, I just think it could be better.
Yeah.
Which one's that again? I always get them mixed up.
Mercy fight.
Mercedes fight.
Silence, red skies.
Oh yeah,
All
me
that
using
fun
my
stuff.
tape recorder to try and fuck you over.
I'm own sword.
Do we want to go to another question? Let's do
Sure.
some rapid fire.
What was the real vampire? The real name of the vampire that fucked up Edwin's life?
The real name? Shiki Fix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her name was Shiki Fix.
Yep.
What did she fix?
Wonderful.
Short and simple.
The plot.
She fixed the plot. She
Hey,
has.
you want another question, Tali?
Yeah.
What awoke Rhapsody in Blue?
What?
What caused
Oh,
Rhapsody to
what
awaken?
awoke Rhapsody? I heard a whoa.
Whoa!
I heard a
Well,
whoa too.
What a whoa Rhapsody!
What awoke Rhapsody? Rhapsody awoke way earlier. Grace just never used him. Rhapsody was awoken in the alleyway with Sebastian and the gun.
Rhapsody just was late.
Rhapsody was lazy and late to the party.
He was too hungry.
hungry.
God damn, they are on. Why? If you've
YouTube's got
already
a bot problem.
hidden it
Yeah.
once,
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's a bitch.
I have to look in
Fuck
if there's anything that
out.
we can get just
I'm
for
sure we could get a
automatically
chat
That's
of some
hiding
sort, but we'll figure it out.
Shall I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
We touched on that one. We touched on that.
Do you need more for anyone else?
Because I'll gladly rapid fire answers.
The rest are pretty much all Tali. Or
Give me
group
some simple
questions.
ones. Give me some simple ones. Let's go.
Sure.
Doesn't matter which one.
On average, how many traits did NPCs have?
0.
Yep, I knew that one.
Yep.
I didn't use traits and flaws.
If anything, and if they ever had any, they were probably improved.
Yep. Or they were just character traits and not actual numerical traits.
Yeah.
Mikey's saying he's got one.
Oh,
know, group
Mikey,
one,
should I go to Mikey's questions? Hold
Do
on.
we have to do the seance to get
Do
Mikey
the
in here so he can
seance,
ask us the question?
Yes.
Mikey, we're seancing you.
Mike,
I'm
get
not.
in here.
Why the fuck is every
I'm
dad
lighting-
dead?
I'm lighting. I'm lighting candles right now.
Wow.
Why the fuck is every dad dead? That's like an
Oh, look.
anime problem.
The Ouija board, the little indicators, it's moving. Why is every dad dead?
Dead
I think the only
dad.
reason why I wanted my dad dead was because like
Jesus Christ.
wanted.
What the fuck?
I was
That
super
wording.
into the JoJo shows at the time, and I was just like, oh yeah, my dad's totally dead, Tali. Dead.
Dead.
Dead. I want to hate Jonah the same way that fucking part 2 JoJo like hates, or no, part 2 Zappelli hates JoJo because he's the reason his dad's dead.
Can we talk about the fact of we're being haunted by Mikey now?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's just you guys. It's just
Oh
you.
yeah, it's just me, right?
Whoa!
Did anybody else hear something?
I mean,
Look, the lights, they're flickering.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up.
Nosferatu.
Okay. Another quick question.
Yeah.
Were there any Requiem stands planned, or as a possible idea? Here's kind of an expansion on that from myself. Did you think of the possibility of any of the rest of the player characters getting Requiems?
Yes, I did. I considered what would happen if they all grabbed him, and the general consensus was death unless it was the only option. So I would assess at the time, like, if you grabbed the Requiem arrow, did you really need to do that, or are you just doing it because you thought it might be cool? So it was kind of like, yeah, I considered it, but I didn't like write anything for it. I just assumed that if it happened, we'd do it on the time.
So it's like a worthiness kind of thing, where like
Yeah.
if they try to use it unworthily, they just get fucked for it.
Basically.
But if they actually needed it, it'd be like, I will grant you help.
Yep. So if it was like a life or death scenario, I would have given it. But if it was just like randomly,
That's pretty cool.
I would
like
not
that.
have given it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
So what you're saying is Mercury Requiem?
Mercury
Mama?
Mama could have happened, yes.
Yeah.
Here's another question. Why did Dawn bring the two that were in jail, the prisoner duo? I believe that's Cosmos and Night Stroller.
Oh yeah,
to
that's
the
a really
episode 10.
That's an easy answer, because the vampires were attacking the whole city, and they tried to attack the police station, and Dawn and whoever was there fought their fucking way out like goddamn badasses. There was a whole battle behind the scenes at the police station involving Dawn, Cosmos, Night Stroller, anyone else who was there, and they just stuck together because they were all stand users and they didn't want to fucking die.
And I would have loved to see my boy Night Stroller beat the brakes off of some zombies.
Instead, he got his ass beaten by a big hunk of metal called Mercedes.
Were you doing any like roles for that fight behind the scenes, or was it all like
No, I just determined it based on what I thought was most reasonable. So I did some injuries to them. I'm pretty sure when Cosmo showed up, she didn't have full health.
Yeah, I don't think Dawn had full
I think
health.
that's reasonable.
I think Cosmo's like half health or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Westley was a
Nick was there,
vampire.
I forgot Nick Lastly was a character. Yes.
Nobody actually asked anything about Nick Lastly. I'm surprised.
It's okay. Nick Lastly is perfect and doesn't need explanation.
Yep.
I love how every time I tried to give Nick something, Tali would always counter, "No, fuck you, Richard." And I'd be like, "But Tali, I spend a bizarre point." She's like,
Yeah, you were trying to give him a stand.
so at first I tried to give him money, and Tali was like, "Okay, fine. He's broke again." Okay, well I would have give
that
him
was me
this.
too. I gave him a fucking like what?
Yeah, I
1
basically
million?
Nick Lastly was the eternal fuck up where fate will always bend it so that he fucking gets screwed over in the end.
Do it to Wesley. I was like, I want to spend a flux point to give Nick a good time. Wesley's like, I can't. I got plans for him. Sorry, Rich.
I'm glad that Wesley kept the tradition up of nothing good happens to Nick Lastly.
Nothing good should happen to him. Let's be honest.
He's gonna get good. I'm gonna get him good one of these days.
You're gonna fucking get him one of these days.
Do we have any more simple questions, Kat?
Simple questions? Tali, when did you realize that Starro Now was no longer just a funny summer game?
After it ended.
Yeah.
When it started to get... Seriously? When the first episode went out, for the first few months, it gained 12 views. 12.
Yep.
It was not
Some
popular.
Some of it was us.
Most of it was us.
Most of it was us, actually.
By the time it had ended, episode 1 had only had like 100 views, maybe. So when Strings was like starting up, we got to the point where like, oh my god, wait, we're having viewers, people are talking, this is cool, let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
That.
I specifically remember every single time we would or at least me, Tali, and Katie would always be looking forward to when Blue would watch the episode because Blue would comment on it like 50 times.
Same.
I loved reading
I always
Blue's
look forward to
comments.
Blue. I always look forward to Blue.
I loved how I was always the one that was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go back and watch any of our episodes or even go to the thing unless I need
I
to
don't
like
watch our stuff.
remember something.
How many views does Part 1 have right now?
27,000-ish?
I'm sorry, fucking how many?
27,000-ish, yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
What? In fact, it's,
We're the most popular JoJo tabletop, which
27,323.
isn't exactly
Yeah.
saying much, but it's still fun.
We're literally
It is
bigger
cool.
than Jesus.
Well, I mean, you've got Satan here, so.
So what? Are we like the critical role of JoJo's or
No.
some shit? Nah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, basically.
We're the Beatles.
What?
No, I mean,
we're
yes.
the critical
are-
role of our
Ah.
extremely tiny niche.
Yeah, it's our tiny niche.
If you're saying who's the most well-known, like, JoJo tabletop content creators, it is us.
Views wise, at
That's
least.
kind of what we do.
Hmm.
Us or well, okay. The other group
And I-
that created the system is more well-known in general,
Yeah,
but
in
not
general.
they're not specifically known for JoJo.
Yeah.
They're known for a lot of things.
Look at the list of Z-list celebrities. There we are.
Yo, dude,
At the top.
right at the
Yeah,
top of
they-
Z.
the people who made it, fucking, what was it? Jay, great.
Yes.
Jay,
Jesus.
good one.
Christian's the dude
Okay.
that made it.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about Jay in general.
Oh, you're just
because
talking
he's
about how
great.
Jay is wonderful? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is a unanimous fact that Jay is wonderful.
Yep.
Jay deserves
Jay's
everything.
Jay is one of my inspirations to do
He's a good
tabletops.
inspiration.
Y'all want another question?
Yeah.
What's your question?
This is 21,
Assassin,
episode
thank you.
3 of Star Road Now. Why was We're Not Alone trying to kill Jonah?
What?
Why was we not alone trying to kill Jonah?
Why kill Jonah?
Thank you.
Beeb
Assassin,
alert,
by
there
the
it is.
way.
I was waiting for that. Thanks, Assassin. To put it simply, We're Not Alone was trying to protect the kids. And trying to protect those that mattered to her. And had a very childish view on what that meant.
Yeah. Honestly, she doesn't have to have much logic because it's just whatever a child thinks will work, which more often than not makes no sense.
Yeah.
Have legit logical consistency.
There's logic, but it's very, very simple.
Not always.
Brain
It
stem
depends on the
moment.
child. But
In
with
the-
Rachel, she's in a coma, so
Thank
it wasn't
you,
going to be
Assassin.
high intelligence. We're Not
Yeah.
Alone was a comatose, like, manifested stand.
Imagine if we convinced We're Not Alone in its Requiem form to attack fucking Edwin.
It would have taken a lot of work because We're Not Alone at that time considered Edwin a caregiver, even though Edwin was the reason all that shit went bad to her. She didn't really, like, get it while she was in her coma.
I think it was more likely at that
We're not-
moment that you
the-
probably could have convinced you were not alone to attack Jorgen.
Oh,
the
definitely.
transitive property is not We're Not Alone's strong suit.
Yeah, no, not at all.
We only ever had one idea of how to make that work. And that was Sanctuary.
I'm running out of questions, guys.
Throw some random
Start
ones.
going to tap into the forbidden questions. I dare you.
Okay. Did Papa Pep have a stand in Star Road Now and could have been revealed as a fighter and help in the final fight?
No to the end, but yes, Papa Pep has had a stand ever since he was originally introduced. It has been Dr. Pizza since episode 1 of Star fucking Road Now.
Yep.
Little known fact, but yep, it's been that way.
Yeah.
Was Star Road Now planned to be a part of the Plane Hoppers universe, making it connected, or has
I
it
can't-
always
No,
been
KP.
a solo series?
No, KP.
But Tali,
Uh-huh.
what if I spend a plots point?
Oh,
I
Well,
spent
since we're
all
wrapping
of
up,
my bizarre
You
points.
can always re-ask it, see if we missed it or not.
Yeah, feel free to re-ask Blue. I think we are running low on questions, right, Kat? Or, like,
Yeah.
interesting ones.
what questions that we haven't already talked on or that we can ask. Because there's a bunch of them that are just like spoilers for later in the game.
Like string spoilers, indication
Yeah,
spoilers?
yeah. Strings and specifically Summer in the Sun.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Huh.
Oh my.
So,
Which you can probably guess what that is about.
yeah, I can guess. The answer is probably yes, if it's what I think it is. But,
It was elaborating on clowns.
yeah, okay. So, what about some dumb questions? Let's end on some joke questions.
Number questions? Adam,
Yeah,
may this person look at Jonah respectfully.
definitely.
What about disrespectfully?
Everyone's right to their own opinions. You can look, but you can't touch.
You better be careful. This rose has
I will
thorns.
fucking find you.
I love this. Other dumb ones. Here's a good question that we can actually talk about a little bit. What was the biggest backstory change during the campaign? And
Can I say Mercury?
oh sure.
Did Merc? Yeah, fair.
Mercury's original backstory was Dio turned him into a vampire, and then he just said, "Fuck it, I don't want to work for you," and left.
Yep.
Wow, really?
God, that is the
Yeah.
cringiest thing to remember for me, because that's back at the very early state where base JoJo lore was canon. I don't remember why, but there was like a big push for that to continue to be canon, and I remember just being like, you know what? No. This is stupid. We have our own lore. Fuck the lore. And then Dio was erased from canon forever, and became
I
Rio
feel
Grande.
like it could still be canon and wouldn't have any effect on the story still.
It could. Certain things get wishy-washy. My mom asks, does Mercury own any plushies, Wesley?
No.
Damn it.
Mercury has no bed.
Operation
I
Get
made a
Mercury
joke,
up bed.
Wesley, and I can't because spoilers for
Yep.
strings.
Mercury has no bed, and therefore has no place to put them. And also, why would he ever want a plush?
Counterpoint, did Mercury buy plushies for Dream On?
If Dream On
Is
wanted
it
them.
Mercury? I want the little
Buying
otter.
plushies for other people is something that Mercury would do.
Here's a
Can I
fun
have
question.
the little otter?
Why does Bigolji's flashback have the ability to change date every time it is shown?
God, I wish I knew. Because dates and time are the least important thing when it comes to continuity, because if they're never brought up, no one needs to question anything.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
When you're running something that is just simply, it happened in the past, generally speaking, the exact date is not important. General time is more important. I don't mind shit changing after the fact to fix continuity errors when it comes to
This
date
one
and time.
I'm curious
Date and
about.
time is so, like, eh.
What would... Sorry.
Go for it.
What would Dream Tech have evolved into if it stayed a major part of the series? This is from Angel in the chat.
Oh. It would have been more along the lines of Nightmares, because the original idea behind Nightmares was that they were stand-infused metal that was merged with people. The only reason I didn't do this was because I didn't actually know how to draw it with Painted Black, but Painted Black was originally going to be that, and this eventually became Nightmare Stands instead. But I did want to go with the idea of horrible stand monsters that existed, like, under the city in, like, sewers and stuff.
Wasn't
Like-
one of the original things, I've read through some of the first Star Road Now document, wasn't one of the things that if the user, like, couldn't handle the stand, they would eat them?
Yes. The stand would just, like, devour the user and become the user. It was a whole total, like, horrible experimentation type shit, and Dreamcore would have been much more sinister, I think. That's the way to put it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, thank you very much, Blue. You're the best.
Yeah, we love you, Blue.
Yeah, thanks, Blue.
Thank you, Blue. If you sent the other surprise bitch, this isn't a question, we did get that one, and I have shared it with people.
Yeah.
Libra, we did talk about nightmares earlier in the stream, so if you missed it, you know.
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
Yeah, I've got a whole Nocturne spiel.
Oh, here's my favorite. Here's one of my favorite questions. Mostly because there's a bunch of. I'm just going to read it word for word.
Alright, I think
What was the plan if Westley Shader never died?
What
Yes,
was
Wesley.
the plan if Wesley Chater never died?
No, never
Wesley,
died.
share with us your chater and how invincible your chater is.
Well, as we
Well, I guess
all know,
invincible in this case.
yeah, as we all know, my chater is. Okay, I can't continue this bit. I can't.
Your Chater is vincible.
Hello.
No, 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 no. No pet rat can die.
Anyway, I just wanted to talk. I mean, we can talk about the actual question, which is what was the plan if Mercury never died?
Yeah.
I think I already mentioned that, which
we
was
We kind of
talked
talked
about
about it because how it was.
Speedwagon Foundation building into Edwin
Yeah.
drones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tali, what was your favorite NPC and/or villain to make?
My favorite NPC or villain to make? Oh my god. That is a great question. Probably Rachel. I had a blast setting up Rachel's whole story.
Boo. Easy answer.
Just be.
What do you mean easy answer? It is the right
That was
answer in my
good.
mind.
I know.
It's the character I had the most fun writing.
Yeah.
Because We're Not Alone was one of my favorite concepts from Star Wars Now.
Honestly, fair. It's a really good concept.
Thank you for the kind words, Blue.
Yeah,
Thank
bye,
you.
Blue.
Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner.
Enjoy the
By the way, Blue-
Enjoy that grub.
I've been in private
Rip
calls with
and
Blue
tear
before
until
with
it's
just
done.
small groups. Blue does this whenever they leave any group whatsoever.
Last minute
Blue's
actual
very,
question.
Very kind.
Last
All
minute
right.
actual
Star
question?
analysis. Okay, I can't answer this.
Favorite Star Road Now NPC.
Probably Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Edwin.
Or Cole.
Valid answer.
Jen.
Thank you for representing Jen.
Let's see.
I need a
Favorite
break.
Star Road Now NPC.
It's very personal for me because it's either. God. Yeah, that one's tough.
Favorite NPC.
Maybe.
Huh?
I know.
I think you. Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Don't?
I particularly love beep.
What?
Mercedes. They're talking
Mercedes.
about.
No, I'm not talking Mercedes.
What?
No?
What are you talking about?
Oh, just hang on a second.
Was it
fuck?
someone from a different game?
Hang
Get
on,
out of
hang
it.
on.
Get out.
The name. Fuck.
Here we have the part where Richard makes a reference that no one gets. Oh. That's not
I
fair.
guess
Richard.
that counts.
Also,
But,
that's
like,
very mean.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
guess.
very mean.
Oh, you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Richard.
my favorite
Very
my
cool.
favorite NPC is it's between Don or Shandi.
They're pretty good.
Honestly, fair.
I still love the fact that Dom can only drink shitty coffee.
Only
Like the
bad
better
stuff.
quality the coffee is, isn't it? Like tastes
The less
worse,
she
he
wants to
said.
drink it. No, she just hates shit. She loves shitty coffee and doesn't actually care for any quality in her coffee. She just likes the shitty stuff.
I feel like Dawn
He wants
is
the go-go
somebody that would run something through and then go, it's not good enough, and then pour it back in to run through again.
Oh my god, she totally fucking would.
Oh,
Oh,
twice brewed coffee.
It's in the same grounds again.
That is a Dawn thing. She would do that, and God, that makes me cringe just thinking about it.
Oh
Remember
god,
the
it'd be
coffee
so
machine from the
terrible.
hotel?
Curious about Kelly's Nocturne? In what way?
Probably that Midge and Kelly or Midge and Cole are very obvious.
Oh, the
as to
connections?
what they're,
Yeah.
the connections.
Yeah, those two
Oh,
are kind of like a
Kelly's-
coping mechanism, and then
Oh,
Kelly's.
I can talk about the thought behind that actually, because I thought it was really interesting. Kelly was a cancer patient, and she had basically been stuck in a hospital for most of her life, except for her very early years, and the breaking mirrors was a representation of the fact that she felt like a broken person with no real escape. So I
God,
wanted
I
her
feel
Nocturne to
that.
be much more symbolic rather than literal. So it was supposed to be like the winding halls of a hospital, but of course I went full-on mirror mode with it.
Hashtag relatable.
And then we
Jesus.
slingshotted away.
That did
Yeah.
happen.
Actually,
On the wings
That was very
of a Mercury.
Prologue to Twilight was going to have a much more common, like, appearance in that episode too. It was going to show up in mirrors, but I thought saving it for the end and having it completely unable to move was more impactful.
I agree.
I love Kelly.
Funny,
Same.
pretty
I
much
also
everyone.
think. Don't quote me on this because I haven't finished rewatching the series for this stream. I only made it to episode 7.
Fired.
But
This
I believe you had Edwin mention at some point about one of them was too spirited and I had to shatter it in reference to Prologue to Twilight.
Yeah. That was a reference to the fact that sometimes the Requiems kind of fought back. And Edwin basically was like, the idea behind Kelly and her Requiem was that she was kind of thrown out like trash. Hence how she ended up in the carnival.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why she was there.
Yeah.
Jesus, fuck.
Oh yeah,
that's
Kelly's
dark.
backstory is fucked.
That is so dark. It's delicious. I love
Edwin.
it. Like, oh my
I was
god.
wondering.
So, because if I'm also kind of reading this, I don't know if I'm reading into this too much, but were the Requiems also intentionally supposed to eventually become nightmares? Like in Edwin's original plan?
I think okay, so Edwin was trying to find a way to get his perfect vision of humanity out. And he was basically doing stand eugenics, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word, trying to elicit a power which allowed him to rewrite all of humanity to be immortal and all that shit. And eventually, with Neo Requiem, he got that ability of literally reorganizing everything piece by piece. But originally his goal was to find it through the Requiem arrows. And in an original draft of the game, the experiments done at Star Road were tied to Dream Corp and were much more akin to making horrible stand monsters rather than Requiems. The only reason the arrows got tied in, ironically, was because they were mentioned, and this is really funny, someone mentioned that it was impossible to make a good story around the Requiem arrows. And I said, fuck that, I'm gonna do it. It was spite. They were included because of spite.
Tally's favorite thing, contrarianism.
No, my favorite thing is doing the impossible.
Well, you certainly did it, Tali, because God, I love the story for Star Wars now.
Well, thank you.
I'm just wondering how someone trapped in an alternate dimension can be thrown out like trash. So I was wondering if technically he had a lens thing that the nightmares are attached to, and he literally shattered it and threw it out.
That is a good representation. I don't remember. It's been a while. I had a reasoning for how he did it, and Kelly was a lot more along the lines of, how We're Not Alone manifests still, despite the fact that it's in Rachel and all that comatose stuff. There was still a body. Kelly still had a body. That body was just thrown out. Yeah. There's
I thought it
actually a
was
part
like-
in episode 12 where they find Cole's crown, because that part in the backlot of Star Road now, or of Star Road, the backlot of Star Road is where all the kids were killed. Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's a big power plant back there, and they used the high-level electricity to elicit the Requiem reaction, just like Edwin did to himself in the power plant. Yeah.
Why do people think this character's redeemable again?
Because he's a sad man, lose his wife.
True.
I guess my
Life
idea with
good.
it was that if he had the thing that he shattered and it somehow all ended up inside like one of those big mirrors on the thing, and that's why that worked.
I really like the visual of the lens itself being shattered, and I don't know if that is what happened, but in my headcanon of my own game, that is kind of a great idea, and it would have been cool to elaborate on it.
Lucky and Miss Cosmos made their entire carnival by just stealing shit out of back alleys, and they just so happened
my
to
God,
take
yes.
something. Take
Take
something.
the
that
entire-
There
Shattered
was
little
a song
disc.
like that originally of a different one of the nightmares that was just simply found because it was, you know, some like junk dealer found it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could easily be explained as to how it was at the carnival. There was a lot of
Yeah.
reasonings behind that. I never really solidified on a specific one because it didn't matter. It was never going to come up. Do we have any more quick questions before we wrap up?
I can look.
Oh, there's no wiki info on Kelly, really? Well, feel free to put what I just said in there, because, like, there's a lot of Kelly lore.
Did we talk about Jonah taking Edwin's deal in episode 8?
No,
No,
I don't
we
think so.
didn't.
Okay, there was
This
like
would be a
3
good one to
questions.
end on.
Yeah,
This
I
is a
think
good
this is a
one to
good one to
end
end on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell
So,
me what would have happened?
What would have happened if Jonah didn't take the deal?
No, if Jonah,
Jonah
did
did.
take the deal.
Oh, sorry, did.
In
Yeah,
episode
that's...
8, yeah.
Yeah. The big pivotal, this is a game-changing moment thing, yeah. What would have happened would be a much more akin to a Mercy tries to hint that things are fucked up, and a much more corporate setting for the ending of it. The vampire apocalypse would have taken a little bit more of a down low, and we would have actually, like, focused more on Edwin and Jonah's relationship in, like, a business setting, and it would have been different. Very, very different. And what would I do with the rest of the player characters? That's entirely based on what they wanted to do.
I'll be real, Mercury probably would have left.
Same with Sebastian. He might have actually even like tried to attack Jonah at that point.
There would have been a very interesting like schism in the party at that point.
Yeah.
I
I don't-
thought about
I
it
agree.
after the fact, and the only reason why Jonah would have even taken the deal would have been to spy on
Yeah, I think thinking about it a little harder, I think Bagoji would have stuck with you because, of course, him and Jonah are best friends, and Bagoji would probably suspect that Jonah's up to something.
Yeah.
And I
But
definitely
instead
think-
of that, what we got was stars do not shine upon the path of darkness.
Most fucking raw one-liner in the entire series. Goddamn. Holy
Yeah.
Oh, I did, yeah. I think that, the route for if Jonah had joined Edwin was less planned out because I myself did not expect him to do it, but espionage was the general plan. And again, it would be more Mercy focused. A lot of the routes that weren't taken were more Mercy focused. Funny that.
Huh.
Rip Mercy.
Yeah,
Rip.
funny how that happens.
Funny how
Wait,
that
who are we
happens.
talking about?
I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Who the fuck is this Mercedes?
Wait, are we streaming right now?
God damn it, the fucking gaslighting.
The gay bossing and girl keeping.
That's what Edwin was doing. He was girl keeping at Star Road now. Hey.
I've got one more very important question.
Yeah?
Somebody asked us, why did she leave me?
Too much of a gate boss.
her.
Country
Oh my God.
roads.
She could sense you were afraid of a commitment.
It's a me, Mario.
No.
Mamma mia.
Why am I the sane one right now?
Mario.
Why am I the sane one right now? What's going
I'm
on?
trying to end the stream.
West Virginia. Do we have anything else that we need to
Alright, who's
touch
just
on, or is
gonna-
that it?
who's just gonna leave
I-
off
Thank you everyone
first?
for showing up tonight. It's been great.
It's been really fun.
Who's
Yeah, it's
leaving
been
me?
awesome talking to everybody. We love all of you, and we appreciate your support, and we hope you continue to support us and enjoy our content. We make it for you guys. We want
Like I
to
said,
entertain you guys.
I have framed portraits of all of you that I give a big kiss every morning.
Biggest
You
sloppy
wake up
Duncan
in the
kiss.
morning.
Hey, join our
my
Discord.
mouth and lips are so fucking dry right now. I need chapstick.
Yeah.
Hey Wesley. Wesley, join our Discord.
Okay.
You should join
Okay.
our You, Wesley.
Okay.
You.
Wesley,
Get it?
I think
Yeah,
you
you.
should. I think you should join my Discord. In fact, Wesley.
You know
Also, check
what?
out our Patreon.
Gordon, I'm joining
Gordon,
Discord.
I'm thirsty.
Oh my
What?
God.
Gordon, I'm
If you have any other Star Road Now
God.
related questions, join our Discord.
Yo, Gordon, that was an actual
Yeah,
shill.
we're-
Good shit.
Yeah,
If you want to
join
look at our
Discord, where
art,
you can
we've got a
ask-
Patreon. Also, if you want to make my life hell, donate a lot of money to the Patreon so I have to make a game.
Yeah, one
Your
of the
life
stretch
now.
goals
Yeah,
is Mike
do
running
that.
a game. If you want to torture Mike, do it. Also, if you want to torture Richard,
I love torturing Mike. It's my favorite pastime.
Alright, I think we can give a good night.
Good night, everyone.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Afternoon or night or whatever timeline.
Everybody.
Time zone.
Good times.
Good yeah.
Beef.
Oh, no.
Faith.